Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. What is on, my freaks and peeps? Hello. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. What's up, what's up, what's on? Hello. I've broken my fucking tracking, so please excuse if the fucking thing just doesn't seem to be like lining up right. I don't know what's happened. It was working like for 2 seconds and now it's just like I look really miserable and I don't know why and I don't know what I've done wrong. So like excuse while I try and sort this out because your fam is like, oh, what? What the fuck? Wait, hang on. I'm trying to read things. Stardew's actually done, yeah. Mimi, hi. Hi Mimi, hi Emperor Cable, hello Rat Satan, hello, hi, welcome, welcome, welcome all. Good to see you all. Mimi Radiant. I didn't hear it though, and I'm not sure why I can't hear anything. My volume's just gone. I almost lost an eye because I slipped and bashed my head on a coffee table a little to the left and I would have split my eye. Bruh. I hope you recover from that. Hello, Rat Satan. I'm fine. I hit my head at an IOBI. It doesn't hurt. Just very low. Hello, Mimi. Jasper, for fuck's sake, stream didn't even start. What do you mean? What do you mean stream didn't start? Mine's the same. Maybe it's the heat. I don't know. I was trying to like experiment just to see if like I could like improve the tracking, and for some reason the settings just don't want to like fulfill what they're doing, so I'm not really sure what's going on. Oh, I think I know what I've done wrong. It's like changed one of the settings and I'm not really sure why. Oh, okay, now I fixed it. There we go. It just for some reason doesn't like... I think what's happening is I'm changing it and then being like, oh, nothing's happening. So I would change it back and then it would just not work. So I don't really know what's going on. Okay, this should work now. Yeah, something's going on with my settings. Sorry, I am trying to like... this. I don't know what's going on. I wonder if I can change some of this. Wow, I actually move! Oh my god! Why have I never bothered with calibrating these settings? Dude, look at this shit! I can move! moved really like statically, and I was like, why the fuck does it do that? Dude, it was me. I swear to God I went through these settings like a long time ago. Maybe it's just updated and it's changed them. I don't know. But look at this shit, I can move my head around. This is great. Wow. Oh, this isn't gonna work. Oh, I don't know. Maybe this is so cool. Look at this. Oh my god. Look at this shit, guys. I can move. God damn it. I can't get over it. I was like, what the fuck? I can move my fucking head. This is insane. Whoa, whoa. Look at this. I cannot now. Guys, I need to go through my settings because this is like, we've talked about it before. Like, I'm like, you guys miss a lot of like my facial features because I'm quite an it's a tough one. Like, I'm expressive, but I'm usually when I'm talking in person, I'm not expressive, but when I'm like talking in a comfortable environment, I'm very expressive. And like, as a result, like my eyes, for example, like you guys would never know because to you guys, it's just like, I just like close them and like open them. But like in person, they like kind of like, it's a lot more dramatic. My eyebrows especially are quite like muscular, so I move them quite dramatically. You would never know because, and I was always like, man, my like tracking is not great, and I just thought that was just because I like got it rigged by someone who maybe didn't have as much experience, but and also my model is not a very it wasn't a very well like split model because I'd never done it before and it was made by me. So it was like a combination of things, but I didn't realize that VTube Studio, guys, really fucking limits you about how much your movements is, because like literally all I've done, right, to get the like nodding to like happen is I've literally changed my parameters by 10. It was at 30, I put it down to 20, and now I can like fully move my head. What the hecky? This is crazy. There's settings to do the smile and sad mouth stuff, but I can't remember what it's called. It's the mouth parameters. That's what I was doing earlier. I was like trying to see if I could get it to work. I mean, I don't think I'll ever be able to get it like perfect because realistically, my mouth doesn't move a lot. That's just a me thing. That's not anything that I think any model's gonna really change because it's just how I talk. Which is also why I've like learn to like move my face, I guess, because I'm also quite monotone. But like you guys don't see it. It's weird. It's hard to explain because for you guys, I'm like really comfortable in this environment because obviously it's like a controlled setting. I'm in my comfort space. I've got things around me to keep me calm, that sort of thing. And also because I'm talking to people that are somewhat familiar, like you guys, like, yeah, we get new people in the chat all the time, but like, well, no, we don't. But we get new people in the chat and it's like, I don't really freeze up like I used to, which is good, I guess. But also, you gotta keep in mind, I can't see your faces. So it's not like, I'm not really getting that, like, interaction that I struggle with, which is great. But even so, like, there are limitations because Yagal is potentially on the spectrum. I don't know, it's hard to explain. But when I've had it pointed out to me by my, like, previous friends that my mouth just doesn't move when I talk, which also kind of goes into the like my old accent was very American before I intentionally changed it because I got made fun of it, and like when that was a thing, that really like that was very monotone. So anyway, but yeah, no, I don't think that will change very much. For one, limitations of the model, there wasn't a lot of like layering going on with the mouth. There isn't anything there to like move, and also because my mouth just doesn't move enough for it to like do tracking. But like my face moves a lot, and like Jesus Christ, I'm like, what on earth? Like, what the hecky, dude? I've never been able to nod. This is crazy. Oh my god, it's so much better. Oh my fucking god, Jasper, you've been streaming for how long? I don't, well, in reference to the fact that I've never, like, actually looked at the settings, I think I did. I distinctly remember, I'm like, man, I swear I've done all this. And I looked in the settings and none of them were, like, individualized, like, they weren't really personalized. And I was like, what's happened? I think what's happened is that over, like, YouTube Studio updating, you know, like, just in general, like, computer updates and stuff, it's likely that I did change it at some point, but it might have just reset itself at some point. I don't know. Things happen. Oh my god, your titties. Don't... Why? Yeah, why? That's a thing, actually, isn't it? That's gonna get worse. You gotta keep in mind, the titty bounce is, like, connected to the face movements, so every time I, like, move my face, my tits will bounce. This is, this is a bit much. Okay, we might have to make some sacrifices here, guys. Oh my god, I never noticed how much you didn't move. I don't notice either. I thought it was just a combination of my bad layering, my rig maybe not being, like, 10 out of 10 quality. This isn't me slagging off the rig artists. I don't think they make rigs anymore, and they did a fantastic job, and I would still recommend them highly. It's just, like, they don't sell anymore. As in, they don't sell their services anymore. And I don't think it was, like, their fault because they were working with my shitty work. But, like, at the same time, I'm like, it's, like, it does, like, contribute a lot. And maybe I didn't get the best, like, they didn't have the best experience. And that's just, like, on being a rig artist in general, I guess. I don't know. I'm not going to comment on it because I've never done it. I don't know what the work is. I know it's a lot. But yeah, but, like, I didn't realize they didn't move. And I didn't realize how much of that was my fault. Another thing is, like, guys, a bad artist blames the tools they are given with. That's all I'll say. Anyway, hello everyone, how are you? Sorry that my tracking was a bit of a shit show this morning. I've had a busy morning. A really, really busy morning. Wait till I tell you. Wait till I tell you about my morning. Yeah, no. Oh my god, wait. I mean, because I'm like, honestly, I think he did move this much at some point. It's just, for some reason, not stuck. I don't know. It's probably going to be more, there might also be, like, I probably didn't want to change the settings dramatically because my head lolls to one side, like, quite badly. So it's like, it might just, like, not look great. Anyway, but I mean, look how much I can move now! What the fuck? What? Okay, that was slightly too much movement. Oh my god. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't notice. My face is quite expressive, so I don't even think someone who with autism could read me pretty clearly. I wouldn't be able to read you anyway because I don't look people in the face. It's like a common issue. I don't look anyone in the face. It's a bit of a weird one. Oh, your morning? Alright, everyone sit around. Mama Jasper will tell us about her morning for 2 hours. I will! I'm also not your mother! I will tell you about my morning. My morning was, I woke up, and I lay in bed, and I regretted my events of last night in that I drank slightly too much as usual, but you know what? We're here for a good time, not a long time, and it was a great time, and I had a great time. It was good times. I posted on Instagram, man, not you guys won't see it, it's on my private, like, Instagram, but, like, I posted a story, and I don't even, like, really remember what the context was. I think I just was really into birds, and I posted, like, saying that I was gonna get a bird by the end of the year. It was a whole thing. Anyway, so that was cool. I also called my parents. Oh my god! I called my parents, and I'd called my parents twice throughout the day, because as many of you know, your girl has been, this is relevant, I'm not just going on a tangent, your girl has been awaiting, like, an autism referral. I've been in the process for the last few weeks of form filling, and one of those forms is you have to get what's called an informant. And so an informant is someone that knows you pretty well, and they fill out the form from their perspective of how you are and how you act in, like, just general, like, so I'm not just commenting on how I act, and it's, like, one-sided, you know? So this is pretty common. It's kind of up to you who your informant is. but it's recommended to get a family member, like a parent or a carer, someone who's been with you since you were a burn or a baby, side slang. So you would get someone like that. So this is relevant to calling my parents because I called my mom yesterday because she was powering through, bless her, to get the form done by yesterday because it was due today. And before anyone's like, wow, she left it till the last minute. To be honest, I didn't really send her the form in enough time, so that's on me, but she kind of did leave it a bit to the last minute because she had a week and then didn't do it until Sunday, but never mind, that's, it's a consistent theme. Anyway, so she was powering through it, and she and I called and talked about kind of the experiences that because part of the issue when you've grown up, likely with a neurodevelopmental issue that has gone undiagnosed, it ends up being like, it getting excused in a way, for other things. So like stress in social situations would just be excused for social anxiety, that sort of thing. Maybe just my interests in very specific things like Atlantis and Monster High, that would have been just seen as like my interest, it was like stuff that was like not really like you wouldn't pick up on unless you really knew the criteria. So or I'd been diagnosed, right? So what we had to call about was talking about the fact that things that I'm like now as someone who's seeking a diagnosis, because I've looked through the criteria quite a lot and I match a lot of what a autistic person's criteria is. What was I saying? Yeah, so I know what they're looking for, more so, and so I had to kind of call my mum and walk her through and be like, okay, what they mean is, do you remember this time that I did this? And you just kind of put it off as like anxiety or like normal. It was actually due to this. So it was a lot of stuff as well that she didn't realize at the time. And part of that is things like my inability to regulate like my body functions. As in, this might be TMI, so just a heads up. But when you've potentially got, I'm still saying potentially because I'm a bit nervous, but when you're autistic, if you're autistic, you don't have, oh my god, hi James, welcome, good to see you, thank you very much for the 30-month subscription, you're on 11-month streak, thank you, glad you decided to stick around that long, thank you, hi. Even your eye tracking is so much better. That is probably just like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because like it's actually matching with the movements now. But to be honest, I don't think the eye tracking will ever improve because I think that's just on. I think that's just because I'm using like a 720p webcam, so I don't think you'll get much better eye tracking than what you've got right now. Anyway, so. Hello, Saber Sensei, welcome. Good to see you. Did I join at a weird time? No, we're talking about my morning and my yesterday and just autism in general. So, Saber Sensei, redeem drink. That Saber Sensei, I would drink to that. So, we were having to go through the fact that stuff that they didn't really think of is potential signs of autism. And it's the more dramatic stuff, like when you are potentially autistic, something that happens is you don't notice body cues for yourself. So I will oftentimes miss the urge to go to the bathroom. I don't think it's very apparent on streams because you guys are like, oh, she'll just take a break whenever. A lot of the time, that's after like desperately needing to go, and it's like I will stand up afterwards and my bladder is so full that it hurts. It's like, it's hard to explain, but things like that. And also drinking is another problem. If I'm really distracted, I will not like drink or go to the bathroom, right? So I end up having to do now what's called like a bladder check where I press on my bladder, and if I need to go, then I'll go. It's a very hard thing to explain. And there are other layers to this. They've just asked about these. They also asked about hunger, and something we kind of had to go through and realize was that I maybe don't have hunger, thirst, or bathroom cues, which is a bit of a kind of a you know, like it's like one of those moments where you sit and go, that explains a lot, right? Because if you guys didn't know, and I've talked about this before, oh my god. We're supposed to do stuff today. I'm never gonna have time if you guys keep redeeming painting with the stars. God damn it, right. I'll sort that out while I'm talking. So right. Change the category. You're distracting me now. I've got like no like train of thought right now. This is kind of god damn it. I didn't read chat also, sorry. I'm gonna do something you're gonna hate me for. I should have read the warning. What is going on? Can't suck dick if you're vegan. Right. Where was I going with this story? Right. Go on to screen share. Okay, there we go. So part of I'm like completely lost on what I was saying now. Thanks for that. So basically, like, I am struggling to keep a train of thought right now. Give me 2 seconds. Let me just gather my thoughts and sort myself out. Let me just reset for 2 seconds. I'm like having a bit of a puff. I'm gonna do it shitty and cute. You can't do anything about it. I didn't expect I'd derail you so hard. I think you need to. Guys, I need you to kind of realize that I don't really do great with interruptions. Which is on me because I should really think about that before doing redeems like this. But it's just like, this is the issue I deal with every single day. It's just like, I'm really starting to like, I really struggle with like conversation derailing because I try to have one train of thought and then if I get so distracted and it becomes irrelevant, it kind of upsets me. And that's nothing on you guys. Please don't like think that I'm upset because this has happened. It's just one of those things which is incredibly frustrating for me. And it's not your fault. If that makes sense. I'm not angry, is what I'm trying to say. I really don't want people to think I'm angry. I get frustrated at myself because I can't hold a train of thought and then I just end up thinking I'm stupid. Which is not anyone's fault but mine. Right, anyway. I'm not doing this in any kind of good way. That's fine. But yeah, so basically, what was I saying? I was talking about talking to my mother is with talking to my mom, we kind of came to the realization that a lot of stuff in my childhood kind of made sense now that we were actually like having to answer questions to do with it. And one of those things was the fact that I don't seem to have much inkling about knowing to use the bathroom and stuff, which sounds gross, but it's not really a problem until it's too late. And I'm gonna be honest, TMI, whatever. It has happened on a few more occasions than I'd like to admit. Usually, what happens is I'll sneeze or I'll laugh too hard, and you know, things happen. Because my body doesn't tell me I need to go to the bathroom when I need to go to the bathroom until it's too late, usually. So this might sound like an alright thing because you're like, oh, well, you never need to worry about it. It becomes problem when you end up getting infections. And you guys know that I really, really struggle with getting infections, usually cystitis, which if you don't know what that is, it's a bladder infection. It's called a UTI. So a urinary tract infection. And what can happen with it is if it's left untreated, you can end up giving yourself a kidney infection. I have had multiple kidney infections because of this happening. So what will happen is, like, for the first day, I will be kind of on it about going to the bathroom and drinking, and then I'll forget, and I won't have the inkling to do it, if that makes sense. So what ends up happening is I just get an infection because I'm not flushing my system properly because I just wouldn't think to do it. And it's a problem. And also water's quite heavy on my stomach, so I tend to avoid it unintentionally where I can, which is why I don't drink it a lot. And I end up getting massively dehydrated. When I moved here, I got hugely dehydrated because your girl just wasn't like she wasn't drinking enough because the thought of drinking just didn't occur to me. And that is becoming a bit more apparent of an issue. And I'm kind of unable to do this properly without a routine set in place, which is part of what we're trying to establish now. I really am the top chatter. You are. You're here every single time. You were talking with your mum about what she thought was normal and anxiety and something else. What happens is I sneeze or laugh too hard. Girl, you're having 80-year-old problems at age 25 or so. Yes, this is an issue, is that I'm experiencing life as, like, someone who doesn't have any bladder control, which is the sort of thing you'd expect from, like, someone who's, like, you know, in their 80s or like a preschooler. I never really got out of that stage, and it's not really enough of like an inconvenience in my life that it happens every day. Like, I'm constantly wetting myself. It's not what happens. What does happen though is just that I don't process like needs like a regular person potentially, and I don't know how extreme it is. And something we realized is that I've struggled massively with my eating. And I'm going to just preface this by saying that I will be talking about eating and potentially an eating disorder. I don't have any diagnosis officially, but what I'm about to say might trigger some people. So if you're struggling with eating and stuff, please don't watch this. It might not make you feel good. Come back like maybe in an hour or so. I don't know how long this drawing will take me. Everyone ready? Okay, so one of the things that I don't really like to talk about is the fact that I have struggled with my eating my entire life. And it sounded occasionally like something I should celebrate, was that I went from about 14 stone. I don't know how much that equates to in pounds or kilograms. You'll have to work that out for yourself if you're that curious. I'm not doing it for you because I already am distracted enough as it is. And what ended up happening was when I went to art college, because I was distracted, so the weight gain happened. I was originally, like, when I was in secondary school, I was bouncing between about 10 stone to 12 stone, right? And that was throughout my like secondary school college experience, so between the ages of about 11 to 15, which is way too heavy for someone of that age and my height. Please, if you are this weight or heavier, please don't think this is something you should be concerned about. Everyone's metabolism and height ratio BMI is different. Mine is, I'm quite small and I'm built petite, which means that this kind of weight on me was unhealthy. And it caused a lot of problems. I had joint issues, I had heart problems, I had all sorts of issues. I was also covered in stretch marks, and it was not a great time. And also, when you're that like size at that age, you end up not being able to wear sort of the clothes that your peers are wearing. So when you're trying to like fit in socially and trying to like emulate social activities because you don't know how to do that naturally for yourself, it's a real bummer when you can't wear the same clothes as your friends and you end up having to wear the same clothes as your mother. You end up sharing a wardrobe with your mother, and it's not fun. So oh, thank you, Mina. Mina has translated 14 stone equals 89 kilograms. Oh god. I had a lot of UTIs when I was younger, and now I have a bladder of like an 80-year-old. I feel your pain. It's not fun, is it? Especially when you've got like a recent like bladder infection, and you end up with like a weird sort of like time where you constantly feel like you're wetting yourself because you have no like muscle control because you've ended up just letting it go just to try and flush it out. Not fun. So guys, if you get a UTI, get it treated as soon as possible, especially if you have a penis. Not for it doesn't matter if you're male or female identity wise. If you have a penis and you get a bladder infection, please seek help because it's actually not common. It's a perfectly normal thing to happen, but with penises, the urethra is longer, so you're not as susceptible. It might take more help to get you over that infection, and just speak to your doctor about it, especially if you've had it for more than a week or two, because that's when you get a kidney infection, and I've had that several times. Anyway, so I was 14 stone I was in secondary school, and what would happen is, eating wise, I would eat nothing before I went to school. I would have a cup of coffee and I would go to school. I'd spend the entire day at school, and then I wouldn't eat at lunchtime, and then what would end up happening was I would come home and binge eat, because I just enjoyed like that decompress. That was how I decompressed after a day of school. I was immensely stressed, and school was a lot for me, and so I just did comfort by eating. I had no inkling about hunger or when I was too full. So what ends up and this is something I still struggle with. So what would end up happening is I would eat myself sick, and I wouldn't really. It wasn't like in a like. It's hard to explain. It was a weird time, but I would not eat lunch. And what would end up happening was that my lunch money was on a system that my mother and father could access. So what ended up happening was they would notice when I wasn't eating at school. So then I had to start eating at school, and that's when like weight was kind of fluctuating because I'd eat whatever gross thing I could stomach at school, and then I'd get home and like binge eat to like get away the pain of like the sensory overload, you know? It was a whole thing. And this is something that we're kind of realizing now. So when did this become a bit of an eating problem was that I went from binge eating only after school, and so my weight was consistently around 12 stone, right? At this point. I then I left school. I did my GCSEs, I left school, and I went to art college. Now, the in-between time of that was about 3 months off over summer, where I just had to wait, essentially. And I had no control over the fact that I was bored. I had nothing to do. And so I would fill that time with eating. So I was binge eating about the regular time schedule that I would. And then I ended up like eating throughout the day as well. So there wasn't any time to kind of cut those calories. I don't know exactly how much I weighed, but we're reckoning it was between about 14 to 15 stone. But I was a size 20 at the time, which for my height is not healthy, or at least it wasn't at that age. I got a lot of comments. It wasn't nice. And so what ended up like kind of coming out of that was I went to art college at the biggest size I've ever been and trying to adjust to the new environment while being the size I was not a fun experience. I was already struggling with change in my home life from, you know, the weight gain, the sudden weight gain, and then to have like the school experience also be a sudden change. That was a whole problem. And I didn't I went to art college. And pretty much what ended up happening was that I was walking more. So part of the problem was that along with eating all this food, I was sat at home not doing anything. I never left the house because I don't feel the need to leave the house. So I ended up just eating myself stupid and not moving. So I went to art college and I was walking about 2 miles every day on average, just from the bus stop to the college, from the bus stop at home to home, just around just college, like the town, the city where I was going to college. And this kind of started like making me feel a bit better muscle wise. So I was losing a bit of weight at this point. Clothes were starting to fall off me. And then I got a boyfriend. And my boyfriend, I said to at the time, probably also autistic. And yes, this is the same boyfriend that we've had the drama with in the friend group recently. He turned around when I said, "Are you physically attracted to me?" Because why would, I just asked it out of curiosity. And he turned around and said no. And I, despite knowing that that was like not something you say to your girlfriend, I was devastated. And so I ended up losing a shit ton of weight after that. So I was walking already a substantial amount, and then I just didn't eat, like, ever. And I started calorie counting, and I started, like, really taking into account what I was eating. And I found I wasn't really, like, missing not eating because I had no hunger drive until I was starving myself. And then you kind of end up getting a bit of pain, and then you end up getting what's called a hunger high. I don't recommend it. It's not fun. It's something I still struggle with now, is that I do still chase that high. And so I lost a lot of weight. And I mean, I went from potentially 14 stone to 9 stone 2 in a year. I don't know if you can understand how big of a jump that is, but it's a substantial jump. So my clothes didn't fit me anymore. I had to get an entirely new wardrobe, which sounds like fun, but like you end up losing a lot of your comfort clothes. And when you're like potentially autistic, comfort clothes mean a lot. So when you can't wear them anymore, it's really devastating. So yeah, it was not a fun time. So something we noticed from that was that I didn't really seem to have much of an inkling about what I needed to survive. And I didn't really see the problem in starving myself because I had no hunger drive until it was sort of painful. Because, yeah, with autism, yeah, I won't get the inkling I need to go to the bathroom, need to drink water, need to eat until it's too late. And then I'm having side effects. And I fainted a lot. I fainted a lot in art college. I would be passed out on the table in lessons quite a lot, and no one really thought anything of it. No one really like waved the flag. It's like, oh, she's losing a lot of weight. It's a whole thing. No one really wants to discourage you when you go from that size. They want to encourage you, but maybe don't need the encouragement. This is a terrible drawing, by the way. I don't know how to draw wings. Wait. So I hope that makes sense. Like with the hunger drive, we realized from the autism autism asking these questions on the pre-assessment forms, we realized that maybe I just didn't maybe I did this to myself not intentionally. And it's kind of made like my mum realize that there was a lot going on and nothing could help me really. I don't know where I was going with this, but yeah, sorry. Reminds me of the time I almost got CPS at my door because of my little sister. Oh gosh. 9 stone 57 kilograms. Yeah, so it was quite a substantial jump. I don't want to sit here and say to anyone that if they've done a similar thing or like if they're struggling with that what I did is the right thing or the wrong thing. I got a lot of people asking me, how did you do it? And I was like, I calorie counted and I just didn't really eat. And then people are like, oh, but I don't want to give up. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. It's like, then don't. Like, it just worked for me. It doesn't work for you. It was a whole thing. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with this, but these come up in the assessment. It's like, do you have any, like, drive to, like, drink or eat? And I was having to explain to my mom, this is why I go through periods where I am healthy, and then I'll go through periods where I'm really, like, bony. I'm not, like, anorexic. I don't want anyone to think that I'm, like, skeletal looking, but you can see my bones from time to time because I'm just like, my bones just kind of stick out weirdly. Like, I'm not that skinny. I don't know how to explain it. They just sort of are there. But, like, I don't look abnormal, if that makes sense. But basically, I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but basically I was having to explain to my mum that part of that is, like, despite the fact that I was getting to the point where I was passing out and I was in pain from being hungry, and it was getting to that point, was that I still didn't eat, because at that point I was like, oh, it's working. And it's like, that's a problem. So part of that then is also, like, sensation searching. So, like, how some people pick their skin and stuff, and how some people like scratching their head to, like, you know, relieve some sort of, like, to get some sort of feedback and sensation, right? I sort of seek that through hunger, and it's a problem. And I don't know if it's a common issue, but it's something that I need to kind of bring up. And I did bring it up. I put, like, about, like, my eating wasn't the best, and I'm not sure if I've got an eating disorder, but it's also, like, quite a common thing to get diagnosed with before getting diagnosed with anxiety. In girls, this is not anxiety, autism. But yeah, I don't know if anything I've just said makes sense. I'm so sorry. I want to get the results without the effort. I think also what I was doing was, I was like, yeah, this is just part of, like, the experience of what I'm going through. And then people were like, no, that's not normal. And I'm like, oh, okay. And now I understand, but back then I didn't. I don't know if any of this kind of makes sense. I don't know why I'm talking about this. Anyway, I'm going to move on with the conversation. So, basically, I don't think I'm going to put any color in this. Basically, I just kind of did that. And having to talk to my mum about this was really hard. Because I was just telling her. And I could tell she was, like, having a bit of a hard time dealing with it. Because I think they thought that my weight loss thing was me trying to, like, seek attention, and it's like, no, I just, like, I'm sensory seeking, and it's a problem. It was a rough one. I don't know if any of this is making sense. I'm kind of just brain rambling. This is terrible. Anyway. Sorry. So yeah, that's kind of come up in the conversation. Anyway, so I was talking with my mum about this yesterday, and she was trying to fill out this form. I also sent her the Vanish Autism ad, and she cried, because I know we've had, like, conversations about it before, and I know some people have had their opinions kind of said on here about how they feel about, like, companies making adverts to advertise their products about mental health, and I understand completely why people are upset with that. But the Vanish advert, I understand it's trying to sell a product. I get the, like, kind of predatory marketing in that. But that advert is the best visual representation of every single thing I struggled with growing up I've ever seen. And I sent it to my mom, and she texted me afterwards, and she's like, I cried. I was like, oh, sorry. She's like, I literally, like, cried, because she could, what's the word? She could put herself, I don't know what the word is. There's a word for it. Like, put herself in the position of that video. She's like, it was familiar. And she was like, it's really hard to watch because it was a lot of stuff that we dealt with when I was a kid. When Jasper was a kid. So, yeah. So it was like, she found a lot of, like, good in that video, and it kind of explained a lot of what it's like trying to navigate the world and what I was struggling with behind the scenes to her at school, like why I wasn't coping with school, why I wanted to leave, why I didn't want to go in all the time. And she just found it like really helpful, and it helped her power through the last of her form. And this is where I'm getting to the point. So she finished the form and sent it off. And today I got my appointment. Is what I'm trying to get to. I got my appointment. So your girl has got her autism pre-assessment appointment for next week. So bad news, guys! Stream's cancelled next week. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna even try and like postpone it to like another time because realistically, I don't think I'm gonna be in any position to stream after that. I'll let you know though, because I might, but I'm pretty sure I'm probably not gonna be in any good headspace to stream after that whole experience, I'm afraid. So please excuse. Rat, I hope you're still here. I hope this is good enough for you. I hope this is exactly what you wanted, because I am probably gonna give up. Because I need to kind of get on with the game. I hope I haven't scared people off with this conversation. I'm just sorting out in the background. Give me 2 seconds. Well, sorry. Now you're stuck with me. No, I'm just like, I don't want to, I hope, I just, this is why I don't like talking about this stuff, because it's hard to kind of talk about this stuff without, like, almost self-diagnosing, and I don't really want to do that. That's it, and you're gonna get a fucking ban on doing paint redeems, because this is the second one you've done. Right. Make sure I post that later. I'm gonna move on because I kind of need a bit of a break. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be back and we'll talk more about this in a second, okay? Because I kind of just need to reset my brain a bit because I just got really derailed in that conversation. But yeah, I will BRB. So give me 2 seconds. Oh god, I think Paul just died. Anyway, bye! Don't spam chat. Sorry. I'm back. Or I've gone on to the wrong screen. Oh well. I'm just gonna talk real quick. And I mean really quick because I do want to get on with the game. Oh no, she's back. Oh no, she's back. Oh god. Anyway, I just want to talk real quick because for one, I just had to decompress massively after that conversation, and I'm very, very sorry if anyone was affected by what I just talked about, and I hope that everyone's okay. I'm so sorry if that was a sensitive subject. To be honest, it's been on my mind for a while to talk about it, and I just didn't really think it was. To be honest, I didn't really think it was necessary, but it has come up a couple times, and I think the last time it came up, people were like, "Wow, you did a really good job losing that much," and it was like, actually, there are a lot of things that are probably going into it that maybe haven't been addressed. I would like to stress that I have never been diagnosed with an eating disorder. And I am still awaiting an assessment for autism. It will probably come up in conversation during that conversation. And I'll kind of maybe let you guys know the outcome of that conversation. But it's something I kind of needed to talk about because it's not something I've really kind of acknowledged to myself until a week ago, is that that's just how I sensory seek, and it is a problem. There are other things I do sensory seek that maybe aren't so nice, and I think that's just a part of potentially being autistic and having that condition, is that it's not all special interests and not talking and being quiet and not really making eye contact. It's not just that. There are also not so nice parts of potentially having the disorder. I don't really know. And this is the stuff I kind of need to talk about in the meeting. And part of me talking about it is preparing through you guys. And I'm really sorry if that's trauma dumping. I will do it again. It's not intentional. But it's something I did need to kind of address. And it's just something that I just needed to wrap my thoughts around. So please, if you're affected, by all means, seek help. And also, this goes for anything that I say. If anything that I say kind of relates to you in a way that you're like, I wonder if maybe I should seek further help about this, you need the push. This is your sign, This is your sign to maybe seek out your own autism diagnosis, or anxiety diagnosis is another one, if you're not relating maybe to the potentially autism side of it, but are relating to the things I struggle with generalized anxiety disorder, which I have been diagnosed with. By all means, seek out that help. That's something I've got to talk to them about as well, because I went to get diagnosed with social anxiety disorder, and they turn around and they're like, it's a bit too extreme to be classed as social anxiety. You seem to have other anxieties. And then by the end of the assessment, by the end of the therapy assessment appointment, they turned around and said to me, actually, we couldn't figure out what was wrong. Which now makes me think that maybe this is why I'm getting this dealt with now, because I'm like, maybe there's something else going on. I also would like to stress that I am undiagnosed. I am doing a lot of self-diagnosis with reference to the autism side of things, because getting diagnosed with autism is a minefield for anyone. It's a minefield for any country, because in America it's expensive, in the UK there are really harsh waiting times, and yeah, we've got the right to choose legislation now, but that's only really available for you if you're an adult. If you're under 18, it's not available. You shouldn't be watching my channel if you're under 18, so this probably won't apply to the majority of my viewers, but maybe just seek further help if you are relating to anything I'm saying, because I'm talking about things I'm struggling with in my day-to-day, and I'm getting help for it. So if you're relating to it, maybe also seek help if it's bothering you. If it's not, that's up to you. Sorry. Take care of yourself. Get ready for a possible ADHD diagnosis, and an eating disorder go in hand because lack of impulse control. ADHD, I'm not sure about. I don't really think I've got ADHD. I really don't think that a lot of the criteria that fits ADHD I really can relate to. I don't know. But to be honest, I went into the anxiety diagnosis not really thinking I had anything other than social anxiety, and it turns out it was a lot worse than I was letting on. And and it just like was one of those things where it might just end up going a different way to what I expect. I might end up just not having autism altogether. I might have ADHD, or I might just have nothing, and this is all in my head. I am kind of joking but I'm not at the same time, because I really am stressing about it. I'm really, really strung out at the thought that this isn't going to go anywhere. And I will seek a second opinion if it doesn't, because I think that my quality, and this is something I've had to write on here, and I'm just going to be open and honest with you guys, my quality of life is pretty much non-existent anymore. I've got very, very little quality of life. The only thing that's sort of kept me going the last few weeks has been kind of that I've got shit coming up. That's the only thing I've had going for me. Most of the time I'm spending my time just like waiting for things, and I'm perfectly content with that, but it also kind of comes hand in hand with depression periods, and yeah, it's not nice. I just don't really want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about this side of it because I think I'll scare people. It was really hard writing it down on a form, going to people that I don't know. It's admitting to how hard you're finding life. Because you don't, I mean, to be honest, if I'd said half of what the things I wrote on there to anyone else, and if I'd said it in any other form, like to my doctors or my GP surgery, I would probably not be streaming anymore. They would have probably institutionalized me. And that sounds like a joke. I'm only slightly exaggerating. Well, not really. I genuinely have had to kind of put my mental health a bit first these last few weeks, which is not something I enjoy doing. But yeah, I think I'm just being honest about this because it's coming out, and I'm just like, it would, you know, sorry. Emperor Cable, redeem drink. Oh, thank you, Emperor Cable. I will drink to that because I don't know if I did or not. But yeah, impulse control, I'm not really like sure about. And to be honest, I'm not sure how much that comes into autism, because a lot of ADHD and autism kind of like line up. The reason that I think I've got autism and not ADHD is because, one, ADHD doesn't really have very narrow focused hyperfixation or special interests. They get people with ADHD, and this is not a general thing. This is like something that's kind of been up in medical studies from what I've read, but I'm also not a professional, so take what I say with just a grain of salt. When you've got autism, you can really get tunnel visioned about your interests, and it tends to be very specific interests and a very specific part of that interest. And you tend to only talk about that interest, and you will kind of dominate conversations about it. And that is something that you get with ADHD as well, but the special interest thing tends to be an autism thing only, from what I've looked into. I'm back. What did I miss? Well, I talked about eating, and now I'm talking about my anxieties with the diagnosis process. Also, if you can hear a clattering in the background, that's me. Got a fidget. I'm fidgeting with a bracelet I made a long time ago. It's really helping. Bonk the wackness, thank you. This is your sign to find your own autism. Don't you mean destiny? No. Dieting bad. It is bad. I don't recommend it. Well, I left during the eating part, but I didn't say, as I thought it would be inappropriate to say I'm gonna get lunch. I would have been fine. this conversation is making me hungry. That would have been so funny. No, it's fine. I literally, like, I mean, I don't really want to go into it again, but I'm just stressing about it. But the reason I've kind of gone for autism over ADHD is because, one, I don't really struggle massively with concentration issues, which probably isn't apparent on my streams because you guys like are like, well, you literally have an interrupted train of thought and it's the end of the world. It's not really, I'm not hyperactive, if that makes sense. Like, I don't really, I know there's like other types of ADHD. It's just not something I find that when I looked into, I didn't really relate to it. Autism wise, I've taken the AQ test, and you may or may not know what that is. Basically, when you're getting referred, they get you to fill out a thing called an AQ10. And it tends to just be like, I think it's just 10 questions. I can't remember how many it is. But it's just a brief summary of like things you struggle with. You have to score a certain amount. I think it's something like 8 on it to need a referral for testing. I got 10 out of 10. As in, this bitch is really lining up with these things. And that's a short form of a bigger questionnaire that I'm pretty sure you have to receive at least 60 on to be considered autistic. I think at the time I received something like 80, so definitely autistic, and it did say that. It's like, you should probably seek a diagnosis. And this was a long time ago, and I've taken it since, and it was pretty much the same score. I think it was like a couple down, because this is another thing. And this is something that I talked to my friend who is a specialist in autism. By the way, I would like to stress that a lot of my knowledge and research and discussions come from a perspective of knowing someone in the field medically. As in, I know a guy. He's a good friend, and he's done a lot for me over the last few years about getting myself prepared to seek out a diagnosis. But he's specializing in autism behaviors. I'm not going to go into it too much because he's writing a paper right now and it's very specific, and if I talk too much about it, you guys will know who it is, and I don't really want to like drop that on him. But he's someone like, and I know his family and stuff, so I know where autism kind of comes into play in his own life, and he's been like giving me a lot of resources and stuff to seek out, like medically approved resources to get like more information about these things. So this has been a long time coming with this. And that's where, like, I know about the AQ form from, because obviously they always get you to fill out an AQ10. I've done it twice now. I had to do it to my GP to get the right to choose pathway, because that's just part of the process. And I also did it again for this pre-assessment. So, likely autistic. We're not ruling out ADHD because I don't know enough about ADHD to really say if I think I've got it or not. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I do, because it's not something I've looked into, because I don't think I have it. But with that being said, ADHD is a thing, and you do kind of get them crossed over. We've seen it. Pretty sure that's what Mina's got. I'm not 100% sure. I know Mina has talked about this herself. But it's a thing that does happen. I just don't think it's a thing that I've got, but I'm also not sure. But I struggle with more the autism side of things in that I don't make eye contact, and it's dramatic because I don't even look people in the face a lot of the time, and if I'm having a really stressful day, I will not look at anyone. And something that kind of happens from this is I tell people that their flies are undone. That's something I should write down. I have no social qualms with telling people that their flies are undone because I'm saving them from embarrassment, so why should I be ashamed of saying that? But people say that I should be ashamed for looking down there, and I'm like, it's not that. I'm not looking you in the face, I'm looking anywhere but your face. I'm usually looking at the floor. If you've crossed in front of my pathway and the gleaming metal of your zipper has caught my eye, I'm going to point it out to you because I'm like a magpie with those sort of things. It's a problem. And I have no qualms about telling people that, and I don't understand why it's not considered appropriate to just outwardly say to someone your flies are undone. Guys, why? Explain. Anyway, where was I going with this? So I think that's the best example I could give, in that I don't look people in the face, which is autism. I have a lot of social anxieties or social-centered anxieties, another thing that you get with autism. I have very, very specific hyper interest in things like body modification. That's a special interest of mine. Supernatural, the TV series, is another special interest of mine. Marvel Cinematic Universe is another special interest of mine. Generally, not even just the cinematic universe, I'm just into the whole thing. That's a special interest of mine. Atlantis, the Lost Empire, is another special interest of mine, and also Monster High is another special interest. Not the reboot. I'm quite upset. I have not recovered from the reboot. But that is, and because you guys might be sitting here and thinking like, well, no, you've talked about the like eco-friendliness for like the last few weeks. That's a hyper focus. It might be a special interest. I don't think it is, because it comes around every now and again. And it's like a constant in my life anyway. So, and that's just from being in the countryside. It's a hyper focus at the minute for me because I've just moved house. Special interest wise, it's something that I think about a lot. I interact with a lot in fan culture and in my other interest, which is art. It's something that I get excited about a lot, like, and I will quite happily talk to someone for hours about the subject if they bring it up. Which, yeah, it's an interesting one. My mum's literally on her form, because I had to put, what's your special interest? Like, they ask you, like, do you have a very specific interest in something that you will quite happily think a lot about and talk about quite extensively? And I have put the Atlantis, the Lost Empire, and also Monster High. Those were my two growing up, and they're still kind of prevalent in my life now. We know this. With that, I don't know why I'm still talking and not playing the game. I'm so sorry. Oh my god, mate, sorry. I took looking in the eyes the wrong way, and now I look dead in their eyes. I gotta assert dominance. But the male-dominated industry, I think, yeah. God, yeah. I could never. It causes pain. I don't really know how to explain to people why I can't look people in the eye, other than it feels like someone's just put like a rod between the nerves in your brain. Like, it causes a discomfort, like pain. Like, it's really hard to explain, but it causes a very weird sensation in the center of my brain when I look people in the eyes. And it's not just people. Cats I also struggle with, which is really weird. When cats catch my eye, like with their eyes, if I'm not like familiar with the cat, it causes that pain. It's super weird. But like social wise, a lot of social I am loading the game, right? A lot of socializing, a lot of human connection comes from looking people in the eye. And I can't do it. Right. Oh, I got no game capture. Talk to me about Monster High, Jasper. Oh, don't, because I will. I love Monster High. I've loved it since it came out, pretty much from the first wave of dolls, which was the original Frankenstein, the Claudine Wolf, the Cleo and Deuce multi-pack, essentially, the Draculaura, and the Ghoulia Yelps, and Laguna Blue. Those were the main ones, question mark? Yeah, that was the main cast when they did the first wave. I have got the Frankenstein original, not the, because they re-released it later on, and there are differences. I do not. I have the. I'm really struggling with the music. Hang on. I hope that you guys can still hear this. By the way, how much did you have last night? A bit. Why? So what was I saying? So Monster High, right? So I have the Frankenstein original, and I also have the Draculaura original. The Draculaura one, though, was originally my siblings, my sister at the time, my siblings, and it broke, and then they didn't really keep the interest. I think they just kind of took part in the interest because I was really interested in it, and they just kind of, you know, big sibling kind of thing. So I had that side of it, and then so I ended up getting all their dolls when they lost interest in the thing. Similar with Atlantis, they also had a load of figures from Atlantis, and now I've got them all, or the ones that survived. I will send pictures of the two I managed to get. Oh my god, please do. I want to see. I love Monster High. I can't. It's horrible because I want to talk about it so bad, but like I've been thinking nonstop recently about doing like, I'm not big on the like one-of-a-kind doll community. When that started, because the Monster High dolls were really popular for one-of-a-kind dolls, I was really upset because I was like, those things are collector's items and people are literally like shelling them and repainting them, and we're gonna like, they're gonna lose like there's gonna be like a limited stock and we'll never like see them, and it really drove me up the wall as a kid. And now I'm older with art skills and I'm like, man, wouldn't it be cool to do one-of-a-kind dolls? And I thought the logistics of this. I'm like, one-of-a-kind dolls of each user group, and I'm like so down to try and at least do myself, see how I get on with it, because I've never done anything like this before. And I was thinking like, oh, I could get like kind of, because they were kids' toys for the most part. I could get these dolls, and then I could like I could get like really like disheveled looking ones because they've been played with like long term and stuff. So yes, I have thought extensively about it, and it's something that really excites me, but I really want to do it. I'm like, it would be so cool to have like custom dolls of like our characters. It would be so sick. Yeah. Why do we have any more? Oh. So I've got I think 38 dolls in total. I think that's how many I had last time I counted. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but they are. You got to keep in mind, most of my collection came from when they released. And if you didn't know anything about Monster High, the dolls were extortionately expensive, and because they were considered like, they were luxury. They weren't cheapy like Barbie dolls. They were valuable. Because they were collector's items for the most part. They were designed to be collector's items, and it was a whole thing. Look, I've got fucking 2 of them now. Are you kidding? Anyway. So, where was I going with this? So, with the Monster High, like, dolls, I have mostly got them. I haven't really collected many of them since they pretty much shut down the brand. Obviously, it's been rebooted now. I have not collected anything from the reboots. I also haven't collected any of the, like, movie ones. So if you don't know, they've released sort of, like, proper collector's ones where it's based on, like, actual horror movies. So there's a Chucky and Bride one. There's a Wednesday Addams one. That one I see quite a lot out and about because that was it's an affordable one. There was also I think they're releasing an Elvitra. I don't know how to say her name. They've released that one. There was also a Gremlins one. So they've had those. I have never bought those because they're expensive one. They're like up in the hundreds. And this is from the website. And also because I don't actually watch a lot of like horror. I'm, like, noticing a pattern in that I seem to have a thing about fancy monster creatures. That tends to be most of where my special interests kind of revolve around. So, like, with VTubers, with Monster High, with Supernatural, with some Marvel characters. It tends to all kind of be in that kind of strain of things. And, but, like, I don't watch horror because it scares me, and because I really struggle to distinguish reality from fiction a lot of the time, and I take things very literally. So, and I don't really know how to explain it other than like it will mean I don't sleep well at night, even if I know it's not real. My brain can't, like, compute that it's not real. This was a problem that I had with puppets growing up. Was I had a real phobia of puppets. I still have a phobia of puppets. Sesame Street, forget it. Rainbow? Absolutely not. I do not want to talk about Rainbow. If any of you want an instant ban from my fucking, like, my Discord or my Twitch, if you send me anything to do with Rainbow or Zippy in particular, you will receive a ban. You have been warned. Don't do it as a joke. It's not funny. I really have, like, trauma with that. So it's like, it was, so with the, like, where was I going with this? So, like, with horror fiction, it's not something that I've found I can really wrap my head around. So I've never really consumed it, which is a slight problem with Paul and I, because Paul is huge on, like, horror. Like, it's pretty much entire personality, right? We've got a shit ton of horror movies in the living room, right? Fucking, I don't want anything to do with any of them. I'm alright with the M. Night Shyamalan ones, but, like, anything else, I'm like, forget it. Which is super weird, because I love Supernatural, but, like, in terms of, like, things like The Nun, Chucky, like, The Shining, absolutely not. I will have nothing to do with it. I don't want anything to do with it. Anyway, so, Monster High is, like, a lot of the dolls I collected when they came out, so, like, when they had new waves, I pretty much got the entirety of the second wave, I think, which was Spectre Von Geist, Abominable, and Toralei Stripe, I think was the other one. I'm not 100% sure, and I think Nephra Denial as well. I've got all of those from the release. I wish, I'm not exaggerating, I have all of them. The Nephra one isn't in great condition because that was my siblings originally. But, like, and I've lost Spectra's pet, and I also was obsessed specifically because these were my first dolls. So Abominable and Toralei Stripe were my first Monster High dolls. They've been through the ringer. I loved those dolls. They were my obsession. I played with them constantly because I did. And I have a weird thing about playing with dolls. I played with dolls quite a lot, but my version of playing was to line them up in, like, order of who was speaking. Don't ask. It was fine. I was content, but, like, I played with dolls beyond an age that I maybe should have. Anyway, so these dolls went through the ringer because I had them pretty much since primary school. So both of them have a broken arm. And Abby's missing the arm. Toralei still got hers because I managed to hold on to it, but, like, it's hanging on by a thread. That thing is, like, taped on. It's, like, got layers and layers of, like, super glue. It's, like, it's really holding on for dear life. Anyway, so what, if I want to leave, what? Yeah, just don't. Please don't. It sounds like I'm kidding. It's like, oh, it would be funny. Like, don't joke about it. It's not funny for me. Like, I'm not exaggerating when I say I have a visceral reaction to it. Please don't try and torment me. Mina, and any other mods in my chat, if anyone does post anything to do with Over the Rainbow in the chat, please delete it and punish the person accordingly. This is not a joke. I'm not joking. Like, please don't do it. It will ruin any kind of relationship you have with me parasocially, and I will not want to talk about it. It's upsetting. Please don't do it. I'm not kidding. It sounds like I'm kidding, but I'm really not. James Redeem, drink to me, thank you. A drink to that. But yeah, if you, like, Mina and Wiper as well, please, if people post anything like that, please just get rid of it. Don't. Please. I'm not kidding. It's a bannable offense in my chat. It's not listed, but it's bannable. Anyway, oh my god, we're here. I need to stop talking for a sec because this is important. Are we ready? Oh, by the way, the cat's great. God damn it! Thank you, Mimi! Good job we caught that. Right, are we ready? This is the moment. The moment of truth. Oh my god, this is terrifying. We've been doing this for, like, God knows how long now. Okay, now what? Ah! The last bundle. Farewell, Jasper. Oh my god! Why am I still holding the cake? Why am I? This ruins it! Holy shit. Can I get rid of the cake, please? This is ruining the moment. Bye! The Jumini's have returned to the spirit world. Junimos, sorry. Oh. Oh. Guys! Wow! Yes! Woohoo! Woohoo! We did it! Wow! I can't believe it! Wow! This is big. This is big, big. Like one fish in there. Ah! Yeah, baby! Oh! Oh, yeah, baby! Now what? Mayor Lewis, Mayor Lewis. At the start of each season, you'll have to remove them. No, 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 no. I've finished the community center. What am I supposed to do in this situation? Where's he going? Is he going up to the community center? Oh, fuck off. Right. What is actually gonna happen now? Oh, I've gotta get leaks again, don't I? Right. We'll just do that for a minute. But yeah! Cool. This is exciting. I'm also really overwhelmed though. It doesn't affect you guys because the sound will still play through for you, but for me it won't. Point. Welcome, Mattis. Good to see you. Good to see you. I don't know if this wraps up the Stardew series, by the way, because I'm pretty sure there's another bit after this, so we might still have time to do that. But if it's really difficult, then I won't bother. But never mind. Anyway. Did I sell the leaks? Oh. Did. God damn it. Did. I forgot. I didn't realise. Fuck! Anyway. So yeah, Monster High. Anyway, going back to this conversation because I was enjoying this conversation. Anyway! Sorry. I was not reading nothing. Oh god. Monster High wasn't a thing when I was young. I was really young when it came out. I was still in primary school when it was like a thing, and when it was my like main, like when it became my hyper, like my special interest, I was still in primary school. So I was like quite a long time. A lot of people get secondhand ones that have been abused by kids. It's what I used to do. So when the one-of-a-kind dolls thing kind of took off originally with the Monster High dolls, obviously back then the dolls were somewhat newer and getting them in rough condition wasn't really like a thing. So yeah, I would never do anything to mine because my ones are sentimental. Like a lot of them were gifted. But it was like the thing that everyone bought me, so that's why I've got so many. But they were ridiculously expensive. Like I've got some ones that at the time were up in the 50s in price tag, new, and like I don't think they're worth that anymore. I've only got one still in the box, and that's because I ended up with a duplicate, but it's at my parents' house right now. But I've got an operetta doll still in the box, which is so cool. They're not worth anything anymore before anyone's like, oh, is it worth something? They're not. Like, we kind of all, there were some people that kept them in boxes because they thought they would be worth something later on down the road, but like now we're actually like, now we've got the reboot especially, they're not really like, they're not worth anything anymore. Yeah. Hey, don't bash Barbies. I had more than 30. Me too, man. But like, they were more easily like accessible. Like you could get them quite easily secondhand and stuff because they'd been around for so long. Monster High was just not. So you know. Also, the bodies of the dolls got changed and were not as good anymore. Yeah, they went through. I was in college learning that my special interests weren't really something I should be publicly enjoying anymore, which fuck off. But that was a thing when I went to college, was that I was still really into it, but it wasn't socially acceptable. So I learned not to be into it as openly, which is a shame. But like that was around the time when the brand sort of went downhill. They went downhill quite rapidly because the dolls were expensive for a reason. Like they were expensive to make. Like a lot of them were custom mold. Like they were all custom molds. But you started to see, even when I was into it, like that they started reusing. They started reusing sort of like stuff from other characters and stuff, and it was just like becoming very obvious they were running out of ideas. And then what started happening was they changed it because it wasn't pleasing to parents anymore. And gotta keep in mind, a lot of the dolls now are considered problematic. And that's not anything like against the dolls. It's just because it made sense. Like they're monsters. Like they're not supposed to be real. But obviously, like, it's like the whole Barbie thing of, like, it promotes the, like, unrealistic body standard to young girls is the whole thing, which is bollocks. But I get where it's coming from, but it's like, man, I don't think that's really what the problem is. But, like, obviously, like, part of the dolls were, like, they were all really skinny. Like, it was considered, because they're fashion dolls as well, it was like, they're all skinny. Where's my sprinkler here gone? Excuse me. What the fuck? Where's my sprinkler gone? They were like considered problematic just from that alone. And then in answer to this kind of commotion, right? They released a doll called I can't remember what she was called off the top of my head actually. I've got the doll. And I will explain. Monster High. Yes. So the character, Skeleta. You can probably guess what the character was from that. She was a skeleton, daughter of the... Well, I don't remember what she was the daughter of. Skeleta Calaveras. I think she was based on, I think the holiday's called Day of the Dead. And obviously the character was skeleton, which meant that her body mold was purely a skeleton. So it really didn't go well. Like at the time it was really controversial. It was also really weird to have the doll because she came with a weird like body like mold piece of plastic that you needed to keep on the doll to keep the clothing like from sort of hanging off her really awfully. It is problematic. I can see why it was problematic, but when you kind of like, if you take the brand literally like I do, it makes sense and you're like, why is this problematic? But like when you actually like look at it from a societal point of view, it is problematic. And I can understand why people were upset by it. But what I find really funny about it, if you look at the mold itself, guys, she has bone titties. Like the skeleton, like character's ribcage is not like a ribcage. It's got boobies. Like it's so weird. It's such a weird doll. It is a really weird doll. But like I can see sort of why that sort of started to become a problem, and this didn't help the complaints from parents. And what ended up happening was they started making them appeal more to kids. They were making them look softer. Their features weren't as harsh or gothic because they were labeled as goth Barbies, which was great for me, who has a massive special interest in these dolls, because it's the combination of alternative fashion and also monsters and fantastical creatures, right? It's the two combinations of like the things that drive me as a person. And so I was super into it, but they started to make it softer and less gothic, which just kind of ruined it from my perspective, because it was like, man, that's not what the brand was. It was cool and edgy and something we hadn't seen before. And then they softened it, and then it just plummeted in sales, and they discontinued the line. And then they rebooted it recently, and I hate it. It's weird. It's like, they've aged backwards. It's so weird. It's catering to the now popular, like, Y2K fashion. And if they were branding them as the characters were in their youth, like back, like before Monster High, it's like Monster, like, I don't want to say preschool, but the middle school. Yeah, if they branded it as that, I'd understand it, because the outfits are more kid-friendly. They're not really, like, the gothic that I was used to with the brand, and I'm not against it from that perspective. And also, their bodies are now a lot more diverse, and it's a lot more, like, I mean, the brand wasn't really LGBTQ plus exclusive anyway. It wasn't really, like, against that, because there were a lot of, like, characters that were, like, designed to be LGBTQ plus, but the company kind of, Mattel, like, they didn't want that, so we missed out on a lot. But now it's like hugely LGBTQ plus positive, which is great, but like from a perspective of someone who loved the dolls growing up, this new branding direction isn't quite what I'm into, which is why I've not bothered with the dolls now. And they're also a lot bigger. It's weird. The dolls originally were, like, huge anyway, but, like, these ones are, like, massive. And it's so weird. Like, I see them in B&M all the time, and I'm like, the fuck? Why are they so big? The boxes are ginormous now. It's also, I don't like the boxes either. The boxes used to be so cool. They were, like, binder, like, styled. Like, they were, the original character dolls, like, came in boxes that were designed to look like binders. And that was super cool. And like super unique, and now it's just like a plastic mold, and I don't like it. It just feels like tacky. I mean, there's a lot more detail in them now, which is great, but it's like also like they're skipping on some of the things that made the brand so unique, and I'm just like, oh, I don't like it. I don't know. I'm not saying I'll never collect those ones, but right now I'm just a bit like, I don't really like it. This feels like a bit of a downgrade. I mean, not all of it. Like, I'm, like, really super, like, positive about the body diversity and the LGBTQ plus representation. I'm so into that. But, like, it's just not what I was into, which was the gothic subculture. That's what I'm into. That makes sense. The focus was goth originally. Now it's focused on inclusivity, which is fantastic, but it just, I don't know how to explain it without sounding offensive. It's not my special interest, if that makes sense. My special driving factor that gets me feral is gone, essentially, from the brand now. Not that I'm against it, I still like it. I think it's visually appeasing to look at, but I'm also, like, in my mid-20s now. You know, like, I still like the original dolls, but if I'm gonna spend my money collecting, I'm gonna get the original dolls I was into. I'm not gonna bother with the new ones. It seems like a money grab. I don't know. I don't really understand the decision behind the, like, reboot, actually. I really don't. Because they're not using the original guy, and I'm just like... Anyway, sorry. I wasn't reading chat. But yeah. I did send them lol, but the Monster High ones were so diverse originally. Okay, wait, why is they weren't diverse? I think that's the issue. Like, I do appreciate where they've gone with it now, but it kind of just I don't like the look of them. I find them really clunky looking. I don't know. The original dolls were very slender looking, which wasn't great body image wise, and I completely understand that. But like, they were so stylized, and it was beautiful. Like, they were very much like, I don't know. I don't really know comparison. It was sort of like it was very. It represented the brand in a very specific way, and I didn't find it overwhelming. The new ones I find very overwhelming because there's a lot to take in when you look at the new dolls. Like, the original ones, it was like, the stark things was like, the body molds usually were quite unique. So, for example, like Spectra Vondergeist originally, like, I don't know if she still does because I haven't seen the reboot, but the new one, she like had, but the old one, she was like somewhat transparent on her like body parts. And the Cleo Denial, and I think they kept this theming, but Cleo Denial had like mummy wrap like in her mold. So like the skin like was textured. I think they kept up with that. So that was one thing that they had. The colors were also quite unique to the characters, and their fashion was very unique to the characters. So like it was all goth subculture, but like some of them were kind of in the weird like span of goth subculture. Like Operetta was goth rockabilly. That was her kind of branding. I don't really know any other examples off the top of my head. Frankie Stein was like punk, like very much punk, like schoolgirl, and it fit with the characters, right? It was a lot going on, but it was like you could take it in from just like face value. Now the dolls I find just visually like there's a lot going on with them. Their colors, for one, are usually different. The body mold is like completely like changed in that they're not all like uniform looking. And the colors are quite bright and overwhelming and visually just a lot. And they have a lot more accessories now, which is like they didn't before, because originally they were marketed as kids' toys and choking hazards are a thing. Now they're seen as more collector's items, so like choking hazards kind of seems to go out the window, but like it's just a lot. Like, if I got one and I looked at it, I'd be like, wow, there's so much to look at. And I could spend hours looking at it quite happily, but like, I like the other ones because I could put them on the shelf and look at them occasionally. I don't know if any of this is making sense. I just like the old ones. I don't like change! I don't like change. That's what it is. I hate change. It's nothing against the dolls. I'm super into the biodiversity of them, but like, Jesus Christ. Like, I don't need it. I don't need it. My wallet's already empty. Anyway. Bone Titty sounds something very lewd and necromancy's gonna try and make. I wish I was kidding. She literally has bone titties. I have the doll. I could show you. I'm not going to because it's obviously all packed away right now and it's still like all in boxes at the corner of my office. But eventually I'll like talk more about my like collections, because I've got that is all collections, and then I've also got all the Atlantis stuff in a box, and all my rabbit stuff is also in a box, and my wolf stuff is in a box. And my other interests, but yeah, no, sorry, I'm not playing the game. Anyway, maybe this is what I meant by it's a special interest, and I will talk about it extensively for hours. I will quite happily sit here and talk to you for ages about Monster High, and I will, but like, dangerous question asking me to talk about my special interest, because I will just, unhinged, I will quite happily talk about it for hours, and not stop. I will dominate an entire conversation. The problem is, there is another reason. I don't talk about this a lot. Most of my audience, from what I can tell, is male. Like, and that's not, like, I'm not against the fact that most of my audience seems to be more male orientated. I'm so, like, fine with that. But it means that talking about a special interest that's sort of more like doll collecting might just not really like cater to that audience, if that makes sense. It might. I know that there are some people in here that would be super into that topic, or just like hearing me talk about things I like, so there's that. But like, if you're here because you're listening to me, it's not really something that I would talk about. Anyway, my point being, I love Monster High. I think about it a lot. And when it becomes my main hyper focus, because it's my special interest, it's Takes over my life, man. Dude, it's now I've started talking about it again. I know for a fact it's going to become my special interest, like my main hyper-focus special interest again, and I'm just going to non-stop like consume it now. Look at what you've done to me. God damn it. God fucking damn it. Ah. Man. Oh man. But yeah, I loved Monster High. I still collect them all. I don't really know what characters I have the most of though. I think Rebecca's Steam was the one I had the most of. I'm trying to think. I had quite a few Draculoras, but that's because they pretty much released a Draculora with every single like set. I've only got one Claudine. No, I don't. I have two Claudines. I'd like more Claudines. There are specific Claudines that I would like to get my hands on. Claudine was like one of the hyper-focus characters that I had like an interest in. I just didn't really have many dolls of her. She wasn't super common actually. Frankie Stein was another one. I've pretty much gone through a phase where each one of the characters at some point has been my hyper-focus. Actually, take that back. Most of the main cast, because what people don't seem to understand is like there are the main cast, which is like obviously like Cleo Denial, like Abby Abominable. She is part of the main cast. Operetta, like Rebecca Steam, Rochelle Gargoyle, Draculora, Claudine, Gulia. Those ones are like the main like group, right? So the main group, great, cool, whatever. This I can't sell, so I'm gonna take that out. Where was I going with this? The main group, right? You also had reoccurring side characters, and one of those reoccurring side characters that we didn't really, well, it's, right, the way I'm going off this is characters that we had like a main release for, but they didn't really have many dolls after that. One example would be, I don't remember her name because I never had the doll. I tried at some point to get a doll of every single character. That was an ambition that I'm glad that I never spent the money on. Not against still trying it, would still do it. 100% would still do it. But like, you see what I'm... Sorry, Lana, it's fine. I love talking about it. It's like, I'm not unhappy about this conversation. I'm just like, I don't think anyone else is going to be happy about this conversation. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's... So... what was I talking about? Yeah, so dolls that had a main doll for them, like the character representation. There is my hubby. Sorry, Paul. My real hubby. I'm married to this one. Oh, fuck. What was I saying? Oh, God, I don't remember. So the dolls that had kind of one doll releases, there were a couple of them. There were ones that had like maybe 2 or 3. I can't remember what she's called, but she was Deuce Gorgon's cousin. She had 3 dolls, I think, in total. Beautiful dolls, might I add. Like, beautiful, like, pastel pink and blonde. Like, oh, I loved her. Would have loved that doll. Pretty much all the ones from, like, Frights Camera Action, which was a movie, by the way. Frights Camera Action, pretty much all the characters from that pretty much only had, like, 1 doll releases if they weren't part of the main cast. So, Elizabeth, I think, was one that had quite a few doll releases. That's quite a popular doll. The vampire ones seem to be the popular ones. So, like, for example, Draculora was, like, considered, I think, the most popular character in the whole series, which baffled me. I was like, I thought it would be Claudine, to be honest. But no, it was apparently Draculora, which is ironic because Frankie Stein was, like, kind of marketed as the main character, like, the main gal. Like, the web series was based around her, and, like, in the original branding, she's the lead one. But now, the one that took off was Draculora because Pastel Goth was really popular at the time that Monster High released, so it just kind of catered to that audience, like the Melanie Martinez days. Which is why I find it funny now that you see the new doll with the split hair dye, because it's like the era that doll came out originally, it like would have catered more to that, and people would have gone feral over that, and it's why I think the reboot has taken off. But I digress. But sorry, hello Nat. That redeem drink. Let me think. I will drink to that. It's okay, big girl. We love hearing you talk about your interests. I don't know. So Jasper loves Monster High, huh? Looks a model. That explains a lot. It is a lot of the explanation as to the thought process of my character. And it also explains a lot about how I create OCs now. Because I do create OCs in my free time occasionally. A lot of the time they're monster creatures, monster creatures, cryptids, fantastical creatures. It was all included in Monster High. Monster High was just the name, but it wasn't all monsters, if that makes sense. So, anyway, I try to think of like the one sort of one-shot characters that we kind of only got like 1 or 2 dolls for, maybe. I just can't think of it. Catty Noor. I think she was actually only like 2 or 3 dolls, but I'm not 100% sure. I never actually saw her. She wasn't available over here. This was a thing that we saw a lot over here. We really, if it wasn't in Toys R Us, it wasn't anywhere kind of thing over here with the Monster High dolls, so it was actually really hard to get hold of the Mansters, which were the male dolls. I don't have any Mansters. My sibling had a Clawed Wolf, which was Claudine's brother. She had a they had a Clawed Wolf because it came in a box set with a Draculaura, because Draculaura was my sibling's favorite character, or the one that they got the most dolls of. So Claude kind of came with that one. I don't know what happened to it. I've not got it. I don't know if I ended up with either of those dolls. I don't know what happened to them. And they don't know what happened to it, because that was quite an expensive doll collection. Anyway, so I had those. They had those. But that was the only Manster we had. I don't think I've got a Manster. I would like one. Specifically would like the Jekyll one. That was my favourite, but that's purely just because I really liked his fashion. But I would love that doll. And the original, I'm not talking about the new ones. I don't care about the new ones. We in spring right now? Do these. Spring. These. Here's the thing, we might not have much to say, but we'll listen, don't worry, Yap Queen, thank you. I think this is why I started streaming, because I was like, I have no trouble talking for long periods of time about things I'm interested in. That's just the short and sweet of it. I genuinely will have no filter about these things. So Monster High is something that I could talk endlessly about for hours. Anyway, so a lot of these dolls I tended to not have the kind of one-shot dolls. I think I have a Howleen, but she wasn't really a one-shot doll. I think she got quite a few dolls. They were all very unique. They couldn't seem to decide about what her theming was. Her hair color changed continuously throughout the series, which was super weird. Had quite a few Spectres as well. I also have a playset. Still got that. Had a game. I would like to play the game on stream. Would you guys be like, okay, I mean, you don't have to answer, but would you guys be okay if I played the old games on the streams? Because I really want to. The New Ghoul in School is the game that I didn't get to play growing up. I'd love to play that on stream. I did have the 13 Wishes game. I didn't get very far with it. This conversation is making me want to play it now, but like, geez. But yeah, no, I genuinely, like, I'm so into it. I'm still so into it. I don't know who I'm kidding. I'm still, like, massively into it. Um, trying to think as well. I like Toralite. I really liked her, and actually, I'm gonna be honest. The Toralite Stripe reboot doll is the only one of the reboots that I've considered getting. Obsessed. I love her with long hair. I can't get over it. I genuinely can. I'm so like into like her new one with long hair because she was my favorite growing up. She was the first doll I ever got, and she was the like main one that kind of stuck around for me. I think I've only got one doll of her, and it's the original one, and I love her. And her reboot one is the only one I've considered getting, because I just love her that much. Maybe I'll cave. I was really upset as well because there was like I think it was like a Target exclusive one. I'm not sure if you can get that over here. But there was a Target exclusive one for her and I really wanted it, but I live in England and Target is not a thing over here. I need to think about these things. I don't know what's going to happen overnight. Sorry. I had to get mine from Smith's. What, the old dolls? I've never done Smith's Toy Superstores. I've actually never been in there. Like, I've gone out with Paul occasionally, and we've been past the Smith's Toy Superstores, and he's gone in, but I didn't go in, because busy environment with children screaming and crying is just not something that I think I would cope with very well. But like, yeah, like, no, Toys R Us was pretty much, it was the only thing in my area at the time, or like somewhat close to my area. So Toys R Us was mainly where I got, and pretty much all my special interests over the years, most of my kind of collectibles have come from Toys R Us. RIP Toys R Us, you can't, Toys R Us isn't a thing here anymore. I don't think it's a thing anywhere else anymore. Went bust. I was devastated when that kind of came out. But the reason I've got the original Frankenstein is because I found her by accident in the Toys R Us. And by the way, I know that the character now is considered non-binary, I think. Is that right? It might be gender fluid. I'm not 100% sure. So when I say her, I'm referring to the old doll, which was labeled as a she, her, as far as I'm concerned, or as far as I'm aware. So please don't think I'm being exclusive or anything. I'm quite happy that they've got the representation now for a they, them. But I don't look at the new dolls so much as the same as the old ones when they've kind of gone that direction with it, which is how I'm looking at it. I'm not trying to be offensive, is what I'm trying to say. It's just like, I'm like, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not consuming that side of the media, so I'm not really, I don't know if that makes sense. I'm not trying to be exclusive. Another thing with the special interest is I collected all the magazines. So I've got a binder full. Chock-a-block. The binder is literally splitting at the seams. Full of magazines from the Monster High franchise. Like, I've collected pretty much since, I don't know what edition I got up to, but I had the second Monster High magazine, the second one that ever got released, because they didn't release the first one where I live, and so I only ended up with the second one. So I got the second one, and I pretty much collected every single one since. I don't have all of them anymore, so I kept them all, and I kept them all in a binder, but obviously over the years I sort of got so many that they were a bit hard to put in the binder, so they ended up kind of put to the side, and when you're a kid, you tend to spill stuff on shit, so what ended up happening was after a while I've got loads of them, but I don't have the editions anymore. I had them, don't have them now. I also would like to stress that I did stop collecting them after a while because the special interest did die for me. Not saying that it did stop being my special interest, because I'm still super into it, but I also, for one, I started picking up newer special interests, which kind of took over my focus. Like Supernatural became very big for me at the time. That was my transitional phase, was I went from Monster High to Marvel to Supernatural. That was that transition, and I couldn't really focus monetarily. I couldn't focus on all those at once, and also because they stopped kind of being available where I live, because, like I said, the branding sort of died around the time that I went to college, and also just the yeah, I just stopped like consuming it as much. Partially just because it was just not really like socially like something I could talk to people about. And when you're likely autistic, you end up sort of like um when you're an autistic female or born female, you tend to be able to like socially like adapt better. So I will mimic who I'm around mostly, which is why what ends up happening when you've got likely autism as a female is that you make friends in the moment and you become really good friends with them, but the second that you kind of move on with your life or they move on with their life, you never speak to them again. It's devastating. I've lost so many people that I wish I still spoke to. It's not even a sense of like I miss them though, because I don't miss anyone, sorry. But like it's I don't know how to explain it. You just kind of just end up like losing friendships that way because you don't really adapt the same, which is why I'm also not friends with anyone that I went to school with anymore. I'm still friends with people I went to art college with, but in terms of like long-term friendships that go back that far, I've only got like a handful of people that I still talk to, and I wouldn't consider them as close friends as I was to them in college. So I didn't put them on my autism report because I had to list people that I'm friends with, that I socialize with regularly, on my autism report. So I did top 10 and Paul. Which, you want to know what's really sad? It's going to be a compliment to those people on the list because I've told a couple people, I'm like, just so you know, I appreciate you so much. You ended up on my top 10 list on my autism report. Guys, Mimi, Mina, and Maddie as well are in that top 10 friends. It's really sad when you think about it. I hope you guys know that you're special. You're about as special to me as people I've known for 7 years. So, oh, that's adorable. It's like people are like when I tell them, I'm like, I hope people don't think I'm judging their friendship values. It's like, but like most people have responded like, "Aw," I'm like, that's a rough one. It's like when you consider people your friends, it's like hard to kind of write down, which is sad because I didn't include like the people that I didn't include my friends that had a baby recently that I saw. Like I didn't even put them on there because realistically, like I have to be the one to contact them, and it's really hard to get them to kind of do anything really, which a lot of the time just doesn't really feel like friendship to me. Friendship to me is people that actively go out their way to speak to you. I sound like a lazy person in terms of friendship. I do reach out to people, but like it takes a long time. And like the girls will kind of reiterate this. I don't really text them unless I need something, which is really annoying because I really don't like doing that because I want to be able to play games with them individually and experience like friendship in that way, but I really struggle with it. And that's nothing on them. It's just how I kind of navigate the world, and I feel really, really bad about it. Ah, I heard my name. But like, no, I don't intentionally like only go to them when I need something, but it's what ends up happening, and I feel so bad about it. I'm sorry, guys. Guys, we'll find stuff. Like, I want to be friends real. I want to be friends for real. But I want to stress as well, these guys I know that are going to be friends that stick around for a long time. That's kind of why I've listed them, because the friends that I've listed that I know IRL are people that survived the transition in my life from in-person meetings to the internet. A lot of friendships I lost over COVID because people just didn't adapt well to socializing over the internet, and I don't cope with socializing in any other way other than the internet. I hate both. I don't like texting. It will take me 2 to 3 days to answer anyone's text. I don't answer the phone, but I will not answer the door. I will also kind of stop talking to people. My friend who had a baby, I ran into her at the shops a while ago. I went up, said hi, and I walked away. I got so panicked about socializing with her, despite the fact that I've known this person for years. I got so panicked about socializing with her, I straight up, because I just stopped talking, and I knew I wasn't going to talk. So I just walked away, because she wasn't talking, so I just walked away. And I felt so bad about it. I have apologized to her. She was like, it was super weird. I was like, this is how much I'm struggling with social interaction at the minute. Hope I'm making sense. Anyway, sorry. Sorry, I'm not reading chat. Right. Oh yeah, Justy, did you like the meme I sent? I didn't see the meme. Oh. When the corn wall's not made of corn and has no walls. We do have walls. Yeah, it's like standards. I do like that meme, thank you. It's like me with ponies and Equestria at War, or Bionicle, or Warhammer. I can talk about hours, no problem at all. Would you say that it's a special interest that makes up a lot of your personality, and that maybe you struggle with eye contact and socializing and understanding social cues, including your own social cues, and telling you need to go to the bathroom and stuff? If so, you maybe need to get tested for autism. I also know that some people in my chat have also kind of related to what I'm talking about with the autism diagnosis process, but aren't seeking out further kind of investigation in themselves personally. I completely respect that. You know, it's fine. That's up to you. For me, I'm having to do it because I've got no quality of life anymore. And I'm starting to lose skills and not regain them anymore. So that's why I'm at with this. It's not all fun. Oh yeah, why not? Could be funky. I know. You know what, Jasper? Why not go balls deep and make a Monster High character tier list? I think we did that a long time ago. We did that on stream. I think it was one of my early ones, and I think the VOD is, well, I know the VOD's still available because there aren't any VODs that aren't available on my channel, but it's one of the older ones. I think I did a load of questionnaires and stuff, and then I kind of got scared, and then I ended up getting stuck on one that I accidentally clicked on, and it took hours, but I did find a Monster High one, and I think I did a Monster High one, so I would do a tier list. Aw, that's adorable. Yeah, my name you. I don't text people often, but I always text back if that makes any sense. My aunt recently contacted my mum. My mum told me this yesterday. She's like, because we were talking about the fact that I was like, I don't think I really not understand social cues, and she's like, actually, your aunt called me the other day, and I was like, oh god. And she's like, she's asked if you're okay, and I was like, yeah, but she's talked to me, and she's like, well, actually, no, you haven't, because what I hadn't realized is that she'd sent me like a waving emoji, and I'd replied hello, and then she never responded, so I just kind of assumed the conversation just ended there, and she was just saying hi because I was online or something. And, like, apparently that was rude of me. Because, this isn't them saying that I'm being rude or anything. She was concerned because I just didn't really seem to want to chat. And I'm like, no, I didn't understand you wanted to chat. And that's the problem. If you don't ask me directly, I will miss it. And that's what happened. And I felt so bad. But that's, like, it's kind of funny when you see stuff like that because you're like, oh man, I am autistic. But yeah. Yeah, genuinely, it's like, guys, if you want a full conversation with me, don't just say hi to me because I just won't follow it up. I don't actively have the inherent need to know how you're doing. It's not anything personal. I feel it with everyone. If I say hello, how are you? It's an automatic reply. I feel so bad, and I really don't like admitting to this because it's like a shameful secret I got. If I ever say to people, hi, how are you? I don't care how you are. I'm so sorry. It's not a hot take or anything, and it's not personal. I genuinely don't care. It's like, genuinely, it's like, you can answer anyway. It's to get you to talk is what's happened. It's like, I've learned to start asking people stuff in conversation to get them to talk for me because I'm not comfortable talking. Like, I will dominate conversations with people I'm close to. You guys know that, but a lot of the time if I'm asking, like, oh, how was your holiday? I don't care. So, like, I'm not, because most people I find that ask that are asking so they can live it through your eyes, and I don't want to live it through your eyes, but I'm asking because socially I've seen other people ask. Sorry. I hate it. I really hate it. That being said, when I talk on chat, I would like to stress that when I say to you guys, like, I hope you're well, I do mean that. I do mean that genuinely. But, like, I'm so sorry. It's genuinely, I'm so ashamed of it. Like, even when I'm, like, saying it, there is a part of my brain that's like, oh god, I'm such a horrible person. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's like, because you want to care, but you just can't. So, no, how to explain it. Genuinely, I am so ashamed of it. It's like my biggest like shame point is conversations with people. I genuinely like, and this is why with family, I just won't ask because I just don't, they know I don't care. And it's so sad. And I was saying this to my mom on the phone yesterday. Keep in mind, we'd been on the phone for about an hour at this point, right? I said to her, I was like, it's like when I ask people how they are, but I don't care. And she's like, I hope you realize that we've been on the phone for about 2 hours and you haven't once asked me how I am. And I was like, oh, sorry, Mum. How are you? But I didn't care. It's like, she could have told me she was having the horriblest day of her life. I genuinely wouldn't know how to respond. It's always really hard for me when people, like, say, like, oh, I'm going through a really hard time. Because I really don't know how to comfort people. And it's so horrible. It's genuinely, like, I feel so socially inept. And it's really isolating. I know we're joking about it right now, but it's massively debilitating. Because of it, I don't find I can connect with people, and it just feels very disingenuous when I talk to people because unless we're talking about something I'm interested in, I'm really not interested in the conversation usually, and it's so horrible because you feel really bad about it. I do have enough like self-awareness to know that it's not a nice thing to go through because it's basically like going up to someone and saying you dislike them or find them boring. You don't want to admit that to people, but it's like, please don't take it personally. They're like the people I consider like wonderful, and like my chat as well. Like I consider all of you wonderful, and I do care about you guys, and I do care when you tell me how your days are, because I feel like that's special communication. But like when it's like people that I just like know associated, like what's it called? Not apprenticeship, but it's like that word. Acquaintances, that's the one. When it's someone I'm just acquaintances with, I really just don't care. It's like, so I feel so bad because I'm like, I would like to connect with this person, but I just don't have the willpower to. It's horrible. I'm so lonely. And I always wonder why. I wonder why I'm lonely. It's not nice. This is why I need help, because like, I just can't connect with anyone. It's not fun. It's also a problem when you're trying to get jobs and stuff. It's like you kind of end up in a bit of a predicament because you don't look anyone in the eyes, and then they ask you, like, why do you need this job? How am I supposed to answer that? Genuinely. Like, because the answer is, I need money. Why else? Guys, give a girl advice. How the fuck are you supposed to answer that question in a job interview? Why do you need this? Why do you want this job? Like, what are you actually supposed to answer to that? Because I feel like everyone applies to a job because they need money, not because they actually have a passion in the job, right? Am I wrong? Genuinely, I think that we'd all prefer to be doing something else. Like, I don't get it. Oh no, please don't be sad. It's not like, it's not with everyone. I would like to stress, it's not with everyone. I do care slightly more about some people, but like, genuinely, please don't also, if I say, hello, how are you? Please don't think that I'm just like, I don't care. I do want to hear how you are, but it's not because I'm asking because I'm concerned. It's because I'm asking because, like, you'll know if I'm like asking because I'm concerned, because I will put a bit more effort in. But like, I'm asking for you to continue the conversation because I don't really know. The script follows that line. It's a script. It's a very specific script that I follow. My mom used to always say that I said I love you and had no meaning behind it, which is not a nice thing because I do love my mom, but like apparently I said I love you so much that it was disingenuous, because that's how I followed. That was the script I had. My ending of a conversation with my mom was, okay, love you. That was how I ended a conversation. I don't know why I'm admitting all this. I'm just telling you my life story. Guys, I'm having a therapy moment with you. I genuinely don't want to answer. I don't want to talk about this. I don't know why I'm talking about this. I don't know why I'm talking about this because I really don't want to talk about this because I'm admitting all like really bad things that I'm ashamed of to you. Please don't think I'm a bad person from this conversation because I like to think that I care about people, just not in the way of asking how you are. I do care about you. Feel so bad. I'll be here anytime you ever do feel like sending anything. Hey? Oh, in messages? Yeah, I do sometimes have things I want to talk about. That's another thing. I also, because I'm so socially inept as well, even if I do want to talk to you about something, I oftentimes won't because I am scared to. I'm scared to talk to people. You suck the company's cock, basically. Apparently, I usually just say experience. That's a good one. Make it relate to something in your life, like IKEA. I'm interested in decorating my house and all that stuff. Oh, okay. I work in warehousing though. I specialize in warehousing. Why do you want this job? Because I am good at organizing. Hey, that's a good one. That's kind of like, I will never not be able to, I will always, for the rest of my life, have to work in warehousing because I don't cope in any other environment. But even warehousing is a bit hard because sound and everything. Most warehouses provide ear protection and like sound protection and work in a way that makes like, you know, not having to listen to things more easy and applicable. My workplace, it's considered a health risk if you have earplugs in. I had to write a full-on document about why I need ear protection because sorry. Hello, Melon. I hope you're doing well today. See, now I've talked about this. This sounds disingenuous. I do care. I do care. I hope you are well. I do mean that when I say that. I do mean that. Anyway, hello, Melon. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Sorry. I'm now having a social crisis. God damn it. I need to, like, maybe wrap this stream up. I'm okay, good. I'm glad. Genuinely, though, when people are, like, when I ask people if they respond with anything other than, like, yeah, I'm doing okay, I switch off. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Oops, okay. Sorry. Sorry. I was just ripping off a band-aid. Anyone's wondering what was going on there, I was ripping off a plaster. It was like itching and annoying me and I couldn't stop thinking about it. Like blood everywhere. That's so gross. You guys, like, when you get like injured and you like end up bleeding like profusely and you just whack a plaster on it and it like seals in and then you take it off and it's all gross underneath. I've got that right now. It's so gross to look at. So that doesn't smell great either. Having a social crisis. I'm so sorry. No, trust me, answering I need money is the most genuine ass answer you can give them. Even I don't know what to answer to that. Like, bro, why the fuck would I work for money? We live in a capitalist society. I want money. Experience is just a fucking bonus. The thing is, this sounds like I'm boasting about this. I'm not. I could probably get away with potentially not working for various reasons. The main one being that I'm likely disabled. And I will say that with a bit of like a grit in my teeth because anxiety is considered a valid enough disability by the UK government to receive disability for it. It's just harder to get because PIP sucks. So I might be able to receive it. I don't want to, because part of the problem and part of the reason I work, because I've had someone say to me at my workplace before, they were like, you're clearly not capable of working. Like, they were just saying, like, you're not capable of, like, having a traditional job, right? And I was like, okay. And they're like, so why do you work? And I was like, because I have no innate need to leave the house if I don't need to. I will not leave the house to get fresh air. I would not think to do that. So what ends up happening a lot of the time is I don't leave the house unless I have to. And that's usually for things like shopping and stuff. And that's usually because I'm not eating, and it kind of gets to a point. And now I live with someone else that, not shopping isn't an option. However, when I was off for mental health a few weeks ago, I literally didn't leave the house for 3 days. And to a lot of you, that might not sound like a lot. To Paul, that was a lot. To me, that's not a lot, because during COVID, I literally didn't leave the house once for 3 months straight. Like, at all. Like, not to go to the shops, not to go, like, take a walk outside. Like, not just because it was a pandemic, just because I had no need to leave the house, so I didn't. You know? And I had no problem with that. I was perfectly content, right? I only left the house because I was forced to. It was terrible. I got agoraphobia from that. And that's why I have a job with a routine, because I can fit my life around that routine, and because it gets me out of the house. So that's why I work. It's not for money. It's because I need money to rent a house now, but back, like, when I got the job, I didn't need the money. I lived at home with my parents, and they were quite aware of the fact that I struggled with working. So I was in a privileged position, I will say that. And now I don't really have a choice, but that's why I work. It's just because I need to leave the house, not for any other reason. I don't know why I'm talking about it. This is what we call cutting the sack open and spilling the innards. I have a feeling you wanted to say this for a long time, but you never had someone spill to, and spilling to facialist strangers is easier. I would agree, except I have talked about it before. I'm talking to you guys about a lot of things that I've talked about in the past, but have kind of become more relevant recently, and I'm trying to talk about them so you guys understand me and my struggle with potentially being autistic more. Because I think when I first kind of said that I'm seeking an autism diagnosis and I'm not sure if I've got it or not, there were some people in my chat that were a bit confused, because they're like, why do you feel the need to do this? And it was sort of like, I guess this is where parasocialism comes into it, because you guys are seeing me talk endlessly for hours at a screen, and I'm not really having a problem with that, right? What you guys don't see is the fact that I don't drink properly. I wouldn't drink, like, water by, like, optionally. I wouldn't go to the bathroom unless I was desperate or it was too late. I don't eat properly. I don't leave the house if I don't have to. I don't do a lot of things correctly. I have no social skills. I don't really talk to people very well. I don't talk at all sometimes to people. You guys, like, are seeing a side of me where I'm completely relaxed and open, which is great, because appreciate you guys. But, like, this isn't me. It's the real me. You guys are getting the raw version of me, which is the best version in my opinion. But I don't have the ability to do this outside of this controlled environment, if that makes sense. This is why I want to, like, my main goal is to get to a point with streaming where I can go to TwitchCon and meet people. But I know full well that what's going to happen is I will do that one day, hopefully. And it will not be the experience. You guys won't experience Jasper like you experience Jasper on stream. Because I will struggle if I don't have a mask spoon that day. Sounds, if you know what that means. But, like, if I don't have enough energy to mask that day, I will very much likely just not talk. And it's a problem. So, sorry. I feel really bad. I do care. I'm sorry. I want to care. I ask because I want to care. By the way, I ask how you are because I want to talk to you. Yes, that's it. It's not because it's not a bad thing that I ask, because it's not like I don't care how you are. That sounds really horrible to say. But I'm asking because I want to talk to you. I'm not just doing it to be polite. I hope that makes sense. It's like I'm asking because I do want to talk to you, but I just don't really know how to continue a conversation. Does that make sense? Just but we care about you. I know. You. I just am having a bit of a social crisis right now. I need to kind of like maybe think about wrapping up stream. I'm going to continue on to the next day because I think this is important. Sorry. It's when it's all wrinkly underneath. Oh god. That's when it's like on your finger and stuff, isn't it? I haven't got that right now. It's really swollen. So gross. Dear Jasper, everyone in town has been talking about your great generosity recently. Apparently, packages have been appearing in people's houses containing items they posted about years ago on the community center bulletin, and the packages are all addressed from your farm. Thanks for going out your way to do something like that. For all of us in town are delighted. Oh, okay. It's the bulletin board. Oh lol, sorry, years ago. Oh god. I think they meant the post. Like they posted those notices years ago. Fun. Oh, it's done, yeah. Oh yeah, baby. I'm not sure how you did it, Jasper, but the community center has never looked better. You've done Pelican Town a great service. Everyone in town is pleased. Yay. As a way of saying thank you, I'd like to present you with this town's greatest honor, the Stardew Hero Award. You've earned it. Ah! Well, hey! You received a Stardew Hero trophy. Voice, grumble, grumble. Who is that? Oh god. Sales have been plummeting. Where have all my customers gone? Worse. What? All my customers here? This isn't good. How does it feel? Let's sell this the old-fashioned way. Let's be reasonable. It's of no consequence. I'll just run a 75% off sale and all my customers will come crawling back to me begging for forgiveness. You'll see. No, not this time. Gather around, everyone. Oh, God. Remember when I first moved to Pelican Town, this building was active and vibrant. We worked together to make the town a better place. There was a real sense of community. George, you always used to do crossword puzzles while sipping coffee in the community kitchen, remember? Good old days. Aw, Emily, you wrote that custom banner for Stardew Valley Fair. I remember you working on that for years. It was a lot of fun. Willie, me? Remember when your little crab experiment got out of hand? Heh, that I do. We showed up one morning when the place was crawling with them. But Gus saved the day with a brilliant idea, a crab leg feast for the entire valley. Still dream of that garlic butter. You see, everyone, our community is what makes Pelican Town special. When Jojo Amart came to town, we lost sight of that. But now, thanks to Jasper, we have a second chance. I'm asking that you join me in boycotting Jojo Amart. We have the power to reclaim our old way of life. Who's with me? I've lived here too long to see this town go to ruin. You can count me in. I'm in. Boycott, me too. It's about time. No more Jojo. I'm done for. Oh, I feel a bit bad for him. Was that moaning? Dude, I just don't. Don't ask. Okay, Jasper, I'm gonna tell you something. Tell me something. Go on. I don't know if this is autism thing, but I don't show emotion, or I find it extremely hard to show emotion. Yeah, I don't feel anything a lot of the time, and like I don't really have great acknowledgement about like how I'm feeling in any one situation, unless I'm feeling extreme. I tend to only be like 1 or 100. I don't get the like, I don't get just like happy about something. I get extremely happy. I don't get angry about something. I get extremely overwhelmed, and like I don't get sad. I get extremely overwhelmed, and it blurs into one with that, and for anything other than being happy. And most of the time I'm like perfectly content, but no one can actually tell if I'm miserable or content, and it comes up a lot in conversations. So showing emotion is definitely like something that I struggle with as well, but like it's not even from a showing emotion, it's that I don't have any like acknowledgement about my emotion. I don't really understand how to like feel or explain how I'm feeling. Sometimes I can manage it, but like it's not very common. But yeah, get out of there, you're gonna wreck it again. Maybe like so done with the community center. I understand a lot of things you go through, and also the way your mind works and how messy it is all the time. I can't relate to everything, but I can relate to some. Constant reiterating of things, a constant explaining to get the point across as clearly as possible. They're not caring, the inability to understand some things, and social cues, not feeling anything most of the time. I understand you very well. What's good is that you have a party of people who love you and are in some ways broken themselves, so while on the outside problems are stacking and piling up with you with the gals, when you with the gals, it sort of disappears for a while. Net redeemed drink, let me think, I will drink to that, but I'll have to go and get a drink in a second. The problem is that I get to escape my reality with streaming, which is why I enjoy doing it so much. And realistically, when I'm home, I pretend like nothing else exists. And this is object permanence, but it means that like things sort of do pile up, and my work is becoming undoable. I'm not able to cope at work. My coping skills with work has gone. I've lost that skill regression, and I'm not gaining it back. And I don't have I don't have a diagnosis to explain to my boss why that's happening and what needs to happen now on in to give me quality of life, because I have none at work. This is and there's a lot more I could say about this, and I'm trying not to like do it too extraordinarily, but the thing I want to stress, that if I do have autism, just please understand that you know me as someone potentially, and this is going off like if I do have it, if I like with autism, you know me with autism, you know one person with autism, right? I think this comes up a lot in conversation. Autism is it's called autism spectrum disorder for a reason. There is no one look with it. It's usually like a combination of like things, but whereas I might have eye contact issues and social cues issues, and that's like very typical of someone with autism, along with all the other things they struggle with. Someone else who you might also know might not struggle with those, like I struggle with those, but they struggle with other things with the disorder. It's a very much like it's a pick and mix of a disorder. The neurodevelopmental thing picks what it can and can't do from a collection of things. It's a thing. I don't know how to explain it very well. I don't think I'm explaining it very well at all, but especially because I'm not educated enough, because I haven't been diagnosed yet. But what I struggle with that translates to likely autism is not necessarily what someone who you might know in person with autism struggles with, And this is why I get a lot of comments of people being like, you don't have autism, or they don't think I have autism, because they know a little boy somewhere who's non-verbal and likes trains. And that is a very common thing that you find with autism, is that, especially for women or girls, or people born female, our issues get missed a lot of the time because we're able to socially adapt better, because we are basically, societally, it's ground into us to adapt and be pleasable. It's a weird situation to be in. And this isn't to say like some men with or born as male with autism, who have autism, don't also struggle with this. It's just something you see with people born female. It's got a lot of research behind it. I'm not trying to be exclusive. But yeah. Sorry I haven't spoken much during you opening up. I care, but I'm not very good at comforting. I'm always here if you need it. Thank you very much, Mimi. I'm so sorry if this is like a really tough conversation to hear. I don't need anyone to comfort me. I appreciate you wanting to, but you don't need to. I will self-comfort. I don't, like, I'm not, there is no, like, please don't ever feel guilty about me having a bit of a breakdown about something and you guys being, like, not sure how to respond to me, because likely, for all internet strangers, there's a higher possibility that many of us have some sort of autistic features or something similar, with ADHD and stuff. So we might be having similar struggles in not knowing how to comfort each other, but realistically, I'm perfectly content. I'm just talking. I don't know how to explain it. I appreciate the concern, and I love you for it, but you don't need to worry about it, because I genuinely, you could pat me on the back and I would just be upset that you touched me, if that makes sense. Like, you don't need to comfort me. Dude, people pat me on the back when I'm having a breakdown all the time, and I hate it. I hate being touched. Please don't touch me. But yeah. So in the end, it doesn't matter how broken you are, we love you and we'll hold you at the lowest. It's bad, you're probably not going to get any better, but there are no absolutes. Thank you. Yeah, it's a developmental issue. I will forever have it if I've got it. It's something I've grown up with, it's something I was born with it, something I will die with. It's incurable. It's not terminal. Like, I've managed thus far. I just need help continuing, because as an adult, my struggles are very different to as a child. No? Alright, anyway. Where are we at? I need to get a drink. Snet redeemed a drink dummy, so give me 2 seconds. I'm not gonna go and be right back. I'll be 2 seconds. I just gotta go and get... Oh, my bones. Stop laughing at me, fucking hurt. Sorry, I'm back. Paul just, I just like died on the stairs and smashed my kneecap into the stairwell, and Paul's just laughing at me about it. When I hurt, I'm in pain. I'm gonna move this conversation on slightly as well. Also I got a drink. Thank you very much for the drink redeem that. I have got around to it. It's all foamed out over me. Right. Been chilling. It's a demon. It's a demon. It's a part of you. But you can learn to shake hands with it. It's the best you can do. Yeah, you've got to just find coping strategies. I just need support. I just need support in how to navigate a world built for neurotypical people when I'm probably not neurotypical. That's just where I'm at with it. Trying to clean up this, like, fucking cut. Oh. Before anyone's concerned, it's like a work thing. Don't worry. I'm also slightly allergic to, like, the adhesive on plasters, so every time I take them off, it always ends up really bumpy underneath. It's horrible. It's so itchy. I hate it. Because I'm trying to do, oh god, it's like split. I'm trying to do this with like rubbing alcohol, and it's just like, ah! It hurts. They say, yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of give you guys the update that I'm getting seen to next week. And, it's really scary because this is the big one, because they've literally given me a form that says, like, the outcome of this will be you either get diagnosed or you don't get diagnosed or you get referral because it needs further investigating, which is fucking terrifying. It's really terrifying. I'm really, like, stressed out of my mind now because this is, like, huge. Huge. Because this is, like, this is gonna change my life. Like, and that could be in either a good way or a bad way. Like, it's gonna change my life. I'm either gonna find out I'm autistic and get support and it's going to answer everything for the rest of my life, or I'm not, and I'm gonna feel like a phony, and I'm not really gonna know how to take it. And I'm really scared about that latter. I can't really, like, explain the, like, anxiety that I'm feeling with this. Number on myself. Sorry, this is why I'm not, like, proceeding with the game, because I'm, like, trying to put a new plaster on this, because it's, like, itchy, but, like, also it needs to be covered up, because I got work tonight, and I don't want to get dirt in it. Oh, fuck! You ever, like, put a plaster on and then it doesn't sit right? God damn it. That's enough. I don't have a plaster big enough. It's a huge, like, gash, and I'm like, oh. Right. Hopefully that stays. Anyway, so yeah, it's where I'm at with it. Don't know why I'm talking about this so much. I think it's just, like, I've filled out all the forms and now I've got the, like, okay, it's endgame time, and I'm just like, ah! I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this. I'm not gonna lie, I slightly regret it, because I kind of prefer just not knowing. I kind of prefer just, like, kind of being self-diagnosed in my head. Now I'm gonna find out from someone if I mean it or not. And I really am stressed that I am imagining it. I really am scared. I know to many of you, you're like, yeah, but it makes a lot of sense. It's like, yeah, but they might not agree. And these are professionals. We're talking, like, as strangers on the internet. Like, and these are professionals going to look at my entire life and decide whether they think I'm worthy enough of the label or not. And that's really scary because I don't really know what's going to happen if they say that it's not. Because I need support because my life is literally collapsing around me and I have no answers for why. And if they turn around and say that it's not autism, I genuinely don't know what's going to happen because I don't know what else it could be. And I genuinely think that I don't know what's going to happen. I need support. I don't know what to do in these situations either. I just mask really well and have developed social patterns. It's hard for me to actually relate and imagine what people feel unless it actually happened to me. So my pattern is person is sad. I should ask what happened and comfort. Perhaps hug person. It doesn't come naturally to me and I sometimes forget the pattern. So I sit there and I'm confused, like stare. I do that. I forget as well. It's like a weird one. It's also how many spoons you've got on the day to mask. I mask a lot around Ball and my children. because I have no social like ability to talk to them, which it means that I'm exhausted usually afterwards because I'm having to use everything I know how to do as a person to them, and that's really hard. But I can do it more easily with people older than me, if that makes sense. But it takes a lot of energy, and it's really upsetting, because you want to just be yourself around people. And I don't like the saying, like, where people are like, just be yourself. It's like, I don't know what myself is. I don't understand how to be myself because I don't actually know what myself is. Anyway, but yeah, don't worry. But what I end up doing a lot of the time is my way of showing empathy. I've heard this is quite an autistic thing to do. My way of showing empathy is to oftentimes find a relatable situation where I've experienced something similar and offer that as comfort. And it's not a good thing or a socially acceptable thing to do. And people don't take it well. But I can't stop. It's a really, like, rough one because you are trying to be genuine and comfort someone. But, like, the flip side, it's like, it just sounds like you're talking about yourself, like you're making it about you. And it's like, no, I don't care about me. We're talking about you right now. It's a hard one. But yeah. Don't worry, Jas, we're gonna be bing chilling with you no matter how many breakdowns you have. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for using myself in this situation. I hope it will make you feel like we're not alone in this, but I don't know if it came out the way I wanted it to. No, and that's something that I struggle with because I know exactly what you're going through because I do that, where I will compare my struggles to someone else's to bring them comfort, and then I worry that they haven't taken it like that. You're fine because I get it. And I'm like, no, this validates me because I can see you. I'm like, I see what you're doing and I appreciate what you're doing, you know? So you're fine. You're fine to do that with me because it's, you know, realistically, like, I'm not going to take it any other way other than exactly what you're saying. So don't worry about doing that with me. It's fine. So you're all good. I got what you were saying. The way you wanted, I've got it. I've understood. And it's great because it also validates what I'm feeling because I'm getting a comparison from someone else who's going through a similar thing, and that's good. That's what I'm enjoying about this company. Right. I also kind of need to bring up something before everyone kind of clears off. We're going to continue with the game, but I need to just bring up, this is completely like sidewaysing the conversation. This is something completely unrelated. We're about to hit 150 followers. I don't want to do like a huge celebration for it because it's kind of a minor milestone in the grand scheme of things. That sounds horrible. I appreciate all of you being here, but like realistically, it's like hypothetically, eventually we'll probably reach 200 and then 300 and like hopefully one day like 1,000, right? That's the dream. So those are the big achievements. But right now I'm just celebrating every single milestone I can because it is an excuse to do something, you know? So right now, I'm thinking what I want to do is something kind of small. And I don't know if you guys would be interested. I would like to do a Q&A. As in, you guys send me questions that you have about me and my life, and I'm quite happy to do that. I don't know if people would be interested in it. What's scary about it is also if I do manage to do it like that, I need you guys to actually send stuff. So I will put a post on Discord at some point about it, saying like, would you be interested in a Q&A with me? It will be a stream, and then I will potentially make a YouTube thing about it. But we'll see if people actually want, like, to do that stream. And this isn't saying, like, you have to come on and talk to me, by the way. This is me just being like, no, you'll just send in the questions. They'll be anonymous for the most part, if I can find a way to do that. So you'll send them in, and I'll answer them on stream, and anonymous or whatever. Like, typed questions. But I would be up for doing that. So keep an eye on Discord, because I'll put a post about it, but if we're interested in that, we'll do that. And this will just be a Q&A with me. If people really want me to do it with Paul as well, I'm quite happy to do that, but maybe not for this milestone. The whole Q&A will happen depending on how well this goes, but if people have more, if people submit a load of questions and a lot of them are directed to Paul and my relationship, if it's majority of that, then it will end up being a stream with Paul and I. If that makes sense. We'll see. I'll get there. But yes, I will post about it. So if people are okay with that, I would like to do that. That's what I would like to do. And I would also like to use the opportunity to do a community thing. Maddie recommended a puzzle website, and I know some of you do that with Maddie on her streams. I would really like to do that on our stream as well, for that celebration, if we could. So we'll see. Full on stream. We'll have to kind of work it out because he needs sort of briefing about it. People who aren't really in the space need to kind of be taught what to say and what not to talk about. So I will have to sit down with him and be like, okay, you can't refer to me as my real name. You need to be really careful about doing that, and also be careful about referring to our families and my parents about by their real names, and don't talk about where we work and stuff. Like, and he needs to be briefed, and that needs to be drilled in. Like, do not talk about these things. Paul on stream. Yeah, but we will have Paul on stream eventually. He's fine with doing that. And Mina and I have talked about doing another thing together. With things, but we're working it out right now, so. Alright, I'm gonna go with this. I didn't read any of that. God damn it! That's been on screen for ages and I did not read it. Whoops. God damn it. My throat hurts really bad, but I'm not, like, thirsty. Whoa, what's this? Cool, that's my achievement. Nice. Okay. We'll go to Jojoama and see what's happening over there. Oh! Oh no! Out of business. Interesting. I don't know if something's supposed to happen here or if I'm... Because I thought I was supposed to be able to go in there. We'll see. We need a Jasper going insane streak in the corner. Bruh, no. It would literally be, like, continuous. I'm kind of at a bit of a loss about what to do now. Oh, it's only 8 AM. God damn it. We have to do, like, a whole day. My mouth is really hurting. Probably because I haven't drank a lot, but also because I've got so many mouth ulcers. I like punched myself in the gums last night with my toothbrush, and like I have like a bamboo toothbrush, so I straight up just sliced my gums, and it hurts so bad. Someone joins and Jasper going insane daily streak has like 88 on it, and they're like, what? Yeah. Sorry, I've got like music playing in the background and I'm like, you want to talk more about Monster High though. We're gonna go back to this conversation, briskies. I need to figure out if I need to put this up somewhere. Oh, I do. On. Yeah, baby, look at that! Look at that! I need to turn the sound off because I'm not able to like communicate while it's going on in the background. Jasper working on a new project called Project Fail. I actually could talk about something that I have been working on in the background, just so you guys know that it is happening. I am keeping up with it. I have come up with the concept of what I want my logo to look like. I'm really excited about it because I finally like kind of nailed down what I was going for visually in my head, and I think it's going to be the happy medium that we all want with it. I'm super hyped, and I'm like, so what I've done is I've drawn up like kind of the symbolism I want in it and how I want it kind of laid out. I haven't decided on a font, if anyone's curious about that. I'm not really sure if I'm gonna like really have much of a say about that. I kind of know roughly what I want, but I'm gonna ask like whoever I get to design it if like they've got anything that they think might work better. Because I know some artists, like, when they do the logos, they like to draw the, like, font themselves, and some like to use a pre-made font. So I'm going to leave it up to whoever does it, probably. I think I've got to find some examples of things I would like with it, though, but that's kind of something I'm struggling with. So that's where I'm at with that. But I have pretty much got it nailed down. I've just got to find someone now. I'm really happy with it. I am super excited because I think visually it looks great, and I think that it will look even better once it's dealt with. I'm excited. It's gonna be fantastic. I'm like super hyped. I'm really hyped because I just think that it's gonna be like the best thing. I'm so excited. I can't like explain how excited I am about this. It's like I genuinely want to get it dealt with kind of soon. Like not even for because I know I'm not doing the logo for anything other than like I kind of need one to further what I want to do with the streams, and I am focusing on it quite a bit at the minute. But I've designed it. I've got to get the illustration drawn up for it, like the concept I've got in my head, like because right now all I've got is it on paper. I need to actually like get it like visually like on something, and also get the colors kind of like sorted out and like assign colors for different parts of it. Yeah, that's where I'm at with it right now. Crazy. But I'm really happy with it. I'm like super happy with it. My mouse is on the playing board right now. Ooh, baby. Oh. Ooh, baby. Recounting of today's stream: Monster High, special interest, obsession, breakdown, intensifies, Monster High, electric boogaloo. I'm not even, I don't think I had a breakdown. I just think I just don't really like, I just don't really know how to talk without like breaking down about these things. Sounds like I'm breaking down, but I am just rambling. I'm perfectly fine. I did get a little self-conscious though, because I'm like, think about the fact that like I'm really like basically admitting that whenever I ask someone how they are, I really don't care what they respond with, and it's like, that's not what I meant, but it's how it's come off. That's not what I meant to say. Ooh, look at how many apples I've got. Oh yeah, I needed to do the beetroot thing, didn't I? Oh. Where was it? Am I crazy? Was it a note? Was that what it was? Oh. Oh, never mind. I think what it was it wasn't like a note or anything. I think I've done it. I think that's just the like beetroot that's grown in between that time. Right? I don't know. How many did I put in this? Was it? Am I crazy? Yeah, because I think it was like the beetroot thing and... Oh, I don't remember. Oh, well. I don't think I really care enough to hold on to them right now, because we're probably going to wrap this up, kind of. Not... Ooh. Right, we're probably gonna continue with Stardew for a couple more weeks. The reason being is that we've still got to do the kind of for Jojo Mart, but I'm gonna see how much that requires, because if it's a case of like they don't if it's a case of like it's a lot, then we probably won't bother. But if it's something that I can pretty easily achieve within the next like couple streams, then I'll do that, because I kind of want to wrap this up, but we're also kind of getting to that point with it. I wonder how much more there is to do now. I mean, Jojo Mart, I'm pretty sure there's a thing where you can like restore Jojo Mart, which is what I want to do. But I don't 100% know what. I don't really know what more we can do after that. I also kind of just don't really want to give up, because I feel like I'll just like leave Harvey, and I'm like, oh, I'm attached to him. Mines. Oh. But yeah, and this isn't to say I'll never come back to this game. We will probably revisit it eventually, but I just at this time I just can't. I just kind of like want to be finished with it somewhat, so we can like do something else, you know. I'm not a Stardew streamer. Like, that's what I want to kind of say. I'm a variety streamer, but nothing other than my own pleasure. Ooh. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Yeah, not really great, my dude. It's so. Money. Free money. Spend the rest of your life bouncing between the community center and Jojo, eh? Yeah. You called it a breakdown, so I was gonna call it that. God damn it, did I? Emotional breakdown. You call it autism, I call it having the dog in me. Love those memes. Dude, I really hope I do get the diagnosis for multiple reasons. But also because I've started collecting memes I relate to do with autism, and I'm like waiting for like getting the diagnosis. I'm gonna put them all on Facebook with, alright, to the next person who fucking says I'm not autistic, I'm suck this. Because I got a few people that can do with that reminder, but yeah, I got that going for me. I'm so excited. I genuinely I'm like excited, but at the same time I'm like, oh god, please, please. It's stressful to be a doctor, so it's really great to live somewhere as relaxing as Blackbird Farm. Oh, Harvey, I'm gonna miss you. I love him. This is like heartbreaking. Guys, I don't really know how to reiterate this from to to anyone that doesn't really like stream games, but like it's sort of hard knowing that there's a high chance that you won't come back to something and being like, oh yeah, this is the point that we're not gonna be coming back. You know, it's like this when we finished Minecraft, which most of you who are here now won't remember. But before Stardew, we did Minecraft. That was our long form, and we killed the Ender Dragon. That was the original like long time game at the time that we were doing, the long form game, form story game that we did. Got there in the end, and it was really hard kind of wrapping that one up for me. And I was like, we'll come back to it, but I think in my heart I know that what will happen is it will update so much that eventually like we won't come back to it, you know, like I won't be able to, it just won't work. And I haven't tried, to be honest. I haven't tried to go back to that save file, but yeah, I'm weirdly sentimental like that. It's a weird one. Like I think because I'm leaving my pets. I think that's what's happening. I'm like sentimentally attached to my pets and my husband. You know, I'm basically just gonna leave them. That's a horrible thought. Oh man. Come on, hubby. Come to bed with me. Oh, he hasn't gone to bed yet. He's just staring. I'm gonna have to do the lurkies. I'm sorry. I hope you have a good rest of your stream. A good day. Bye, everyone. Thanks for coming, Mimi. I hope you have a good day. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. See you very soon. Do the crab on this because it's really itchy. I don't know if I'm just having a reaction to the adhesive or if it's like damaged my skin or something by ripping it off. But come on, Abby, get into bed. Jesus Christ. I don't know if this is going to be the last episode. Oh! Whoa. Yeah, okay, it's not the last episode. Yeah, baby! Let's go, part 2! Woo! Let's go! Yeah, we'll continue. But we won't continue today. I'm going to wrap things up today because I've got shit to how to do. Right. Anyway, with that, yeah, I'm really sorry for the fact that this stream has literally just been me ranting about my anxiety. Sorry. But yeah, like I said, like I am just talking a lot about this at the minute because it's very relevant to what's going on right now. Like I'm very much like just hyper focused on the fact that I've got my test next week. Essentially, I am shit scared because realistically, I could put every perfect answer, and I didn't try, but like I'm just being hypothetical. I could have put every perfect answer in this, and I think I would still be anxious about the fact that like they wouldn't diagnose me. It's like it's a hard thing to feel like you're faking. Like I'm not faking. I'm not doing any of this intentionally. I fucking wish I would because I would stop. But like it's really hard to wonder if someone else is gonna believe that, if that makes sense. I don't really know how to explain it other than that. Down with capitalism, baby. I just don't really know how I'm feeling. Like it's just a scary thing. Like I know that if this doesn't go well, then I will get a second. I don't really see. I don't really know how I'm gonna feel if it doesn't. Realistically, like I don't think anyone ever wishes they had a problem. Like I don't think that's not what I'm saying. I don't wish I have autism, right? But I need a diagnosis because nothing makes sense and I'm not coping with my life. And if I don't, then these problems don't go away, you know? How else I was trying to explain to my boss was that, you know, it's not helpful when people turn around and go, I don't think you're autistic, because they're going off stereotypes. It's really hard, like, listening to that conversation. And I was explaining to my boss, I said, because realistically, if I don't get the diagnosis, if they agree with them, like, if they agree with the people that are saying that they don't think I'm autistic, these problems don't stop. They don't magically get cured because they've turned around and won't put a label on. Like, I've still got these problems, and I'm gonna be up shit creek without a paddle, essentially. Like, I'm gonna be left with more questions than answers. So that's the problem that I'm dealing with. You know, you never know. They might end up diagnosing me with something else. They might turn around and go like, I don't think you've got autism, but you might have ADHD, because this is someone who specializes in both. They might say that actually I think that you've got ADHD, and they might refer me to get tested for ADHD instead. And what might also end up happening is find that yes, we think you're autistic, but we also think there's ADHD in there, or OCD. I don't think I've got OCD. I really don't think I've got OCD, but you know, you never know. Something else might come out of this, and that's like a really scary environment to be in, because I'm more scared of not getting diagnosed than I am getting diagnosed. I need a diagnosis, and I will probably bawl if it turns around and I diagnose. It will mean a lot, because you know I've always felt like our place, and I've never fit in anywhere. I've always struggled with friendships. I find I can make friends, but I can't keep them, and that's a really lonely experience to be in. I don't really know how to explain it other than that. Sorry to kind of end the stream on a bit of a downer. I'm also going to end it on a bit of a downer because I found out yesterday. This is just a complete change of subject. I found out yesterday someone who I went to school with in my year group died. It's not someone I'm like particularly. Like, I wasn't close to this person. In fact, I'm pretty sure they bullied me. But like, I wouldn't wish that upon anyone's family. I don't. Before anyone asks, I don't know what's happened. It's just posted about on my like local store, and it's a bit of a hard one to like, because I'm getting to that age now where I'm like, yeah, I'm almost 25, right? Another thing with this diagnosis thing is that the person that I'm getting seen to by would actually not see me once I turn 26. They will only do 25 and under, which is a bit like, oh, okay. um, Not helpful, but yeah, no, anyway. So I'm, I don't know, someone that's like, I mean, I've got a funeral next week. Yes, I've got a funeral next week that I'm going to. And yeah, like, and that's someone I was close to. And it's just like, I'm getting to that age where it's like, people, like, it was a bit hard when people started having babies around me, and then they started getting married, and then they started dying. And that's like really like a weird kind of situation to be. I'm getting to that age now, which is crazy because it's like I'm 24 going on 20. You know, like I shouldn't get stuff like that. And it's like, man, life is gone. I don't feel. I still feels like yesterday that I was getting excited for new Monster High Doll releases. You know, and it just kind of makes me realize that my life sort of hit a bit of a standstill after I turned 17. I haven't really progressed age wise after that. Anyway, it's like if it isn't autism, then what the fuck is it? Yeah, exactly. That's where I'm at with it. It's like, okay, if it's not autism, then what the fuck is it? Because it's not just generalized anxiety disorder. That doesn't like contribute to half the thing. Imagine they just turn around and they're like, "Good news, it's not autism," and you're like, "What the? Then what is it? Insanity? What?" I don't think they're allowed to diagnose you with insanity anymore. I don't think it's a recognized diagnosis anymore. I don't know. I'm really concerned. I'm just like, am I gonna be appearing enough Anyway, sincere condolences. No, I'm not really. I'm not that upset. That sounds horrible. I'm not upset about any of this. It's just kind of weird because I'm like over here, like I've only just sort of started seeking out answers so I can progress into adulthood, and because I'm struggling with that transition, and then it's like hit me that that transition started about 6 years, and it's like I started accepting that I need help, and it's like there's a lot of things I could say about all this. I don't know if I really kind of get, like sick of my voice, if that makes sense. But I'm really sorry for everyone that's been on this stream and just listened to me rant. I don't really know what happened. I just kind of started talking and didn't stop. It's classic Jasper, you know. But yeah, I'm really sorry. I hope it hasn't been too depressing to listen to me. I hope that we kind of can stop umming and ahhing soon. I would love to. I don't want to like sugarcoat it because I think a lot of people would be like, "Not nice to be diagnosed." Like, I don't think you understand how much I need a diagnosis, right? It's it's not something I wish I had to go through, but it's something I need to go through. You know, it's not going to be a relief if they don't diagnose me. I'm trying to say it's not going to be a good thing because then I'm going to be like left with no answers. Having, and that's a hard realization. Yeah. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, they are not, but it's situation funny. No, it's yeah. Anyway, right. I will be ending stream there. I don't think there's enough people to raid anyone, so I probably won't. And I also just need to kind of decompress and see about like editing these VODs because I gotta get that dealt with, or else I'm just not gonna get it done. Net ready and drink, Dobby. Thank you, Nat. I will drink to that. Yeah, okay. Alright, I'm just gonna end it there then. Right. Sorry. I will see you all very soon. I love you all very dearly. Oh god, I'm all over the place. I'm really sorry for a depressing stream, and I hope that Thursday stream is slightly more upbeat. Like I said, because I've got my assessment at 11 o'clock on Monday, I will not be streaming. I might stream, but there is a chance I won't. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, if I don't get a diagnosis, I won't stream. Like, because I might just get a diagnosis and not stream. Because I might just be like in a bit of a talk moment, or I might be kind of calling family members and being like, a success! But like, I don't know what will happen on Monday, so please excuse if I don't stream. I don't think I will, but you never know, right? Anyway, I love you all very dearly. I will see you all on Thursday. The VOD will be uploaded shortly after this, so if you want to see last week's stream on YouTube, it will be edited and put up there. And by edited, I mean the description will be edited, but I'm going to take a break real quick and probably should go and make lunch or something. I don't know. I'm not really feeling hungry. Anyway, right. I will see you all very soon. I love you all very dearly. Oh, I love you all very dearly. I will see you very soon. I will see you on Thursday for... I'm not sure yet. Probably more sticky business, but we'll see. Anyway, see you all very soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye-bye.